Fox Sports.
We are the Fourth. We are Minnesota.
Ball is in the air as the fans file into Target Field, downtown Minneapolis. Kansas City is in town to take on the Minnesota Twins. The weekend forecast, like tonight, looks absolutely perfect for baseball. Time for a little Sanford Health injury report, and the news is good. Arguably the best player for the Twins all season long has been Eddie Rosario. He's missed the last 6 games with a right quad issue, but he returns tonight. He'll bat third for Paul Molitor and play in left field. That is good news indeed. Welcome inside Target Field. As I mentioned, it's a perfect night for baseball. It feels like fall. These are the first September games on the schedule. Kansas City in town for the next 3 days to take on their division rivals, the Minnesota Twins. Let's take a look at the series setup. For the Twins, they should feel right at home here at Target Field. They've been awesome, and their home schedule, it's been good too. 13 of the last 23 at Target Field, and only 3 of those 13 will be against a winning team. That's when the Yankees come to town for 3 starting on Monday. And good at home against Kansas City doesn't really tell the story. They've won 5 of 6. And in those 6 games against the Royals, the Twins have scored a gaudy 35 runs. That's nearly 6 per contest for the Minnesota offense. Whit Merrifield stirs the offensive drink for the Royals. 325 since August 3rd with 18 runs scored. Paul Molitor simply called him just a baseball player. It's the biggest compliment I can give Whit Merrifield. We'll see if the Twins can shut him down. He makes things happen for the visitors. But the guy that makes things happen for the home team, no doubt about it, it's Eddie Rosario. And he's back tonight. Dick Bramer, Roy Smalley with more on Rosario's impact for the Twins all season and moving forward.
Power of the digital world by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine for the everyday competitor in all of us, and by Northland Ford. Visit buyfordnow.com and your local Northland Ford dealer today. It is a gorgeous Friday night for baseball. Glad you're with us for Twins TV. The opening game of a 3-game series with the Royals. It'll be Heath Fillmyer, obtained by the Royals in an off-season trade from Oakland. He'll make the start, his second appearance against the Twins. And for the Twins, it'll be left-hander Steven Gonsalves, who will hope to pick up his first big league win here tonight. And we welcome you to Target Field. Dick Bramer joined for this homestand by Roy Smalley. And it should be a fun night of baseball here. And it's always a fun night when you know Eddie Rosario is in the lineup for the Twins. They have really missed that bat in the lineup.
They have missed that bat, and Eddie Rosario and the Twins are glad to have him back. Eddie Rosario has an awful lot more that he can accomplish statistically. The Twins just don't score runs without him, and so great to have him back. But he's trying to finish off what has been a breakout year for him. I know he had a terrific season last year, but this was the follow-up. This was the back-it-up year, and he has certainly done that. Hard to imagine a player who has more big hits for a ball club this year than Eddie Rosario.
Kansas City Royals have lost a lot of really good ball players over the last few years. They still got at least one really good ball player in the lineup, and he's kind of a rarity. He's a guy who does everything well, and we're talking about Whit Merrifield, who can play a number of different positions and really has been their best player.
Leadoff hitter, hitting .304, has 30 stolen bases. We talked in the pregame show, Jack Morris and I, about the lost art of stealing bases and how it seems to be going away from the repertoire of the arsenal of the major league teams, but not with the Royals. This guy can play the game of baseball all the way around.
3 with the Royals, 3 with the Yankees. The Twins haven't had a losing homestand in 3 months. They'd like to continue to play good baseball in front of their home fans starting tonight. Rosario charging out of the dugout. If you've watched him play at all, you know he loves to play. Been frustrating for him not to be in the lineup. So yeah, he's like a young deer running back out to right field. Anxious to get back to doing what he loves to do, and that is play baseball. Ned Yost knew going in, I think, that this was going to be a bit of a rebuilding year. He's been encouraged in the last couple of weeks because the Royals across the board are playing much better baseball. But yet they may be and appear to be headed for a 100-loss season. Menard's batting order for the Royals. Whit Merrifield leading off. Adalberto Mondesi batting second. Alex Gordon, Hunter Dozier, Jorge Bonifacio, Salvador Perez, Rosel Herrera, Alcides Escobar, and Cam Gallagher.
The home furniture starting pitcher for the Twins, Steven Gonzalez, has yet to really show what got him here. He's not pitched in the big leagues the way he did in AAA, so we're looking to get him on the right track here.
And the Twins hope to again continue to play good baseball at home with everything that has gone wrong on the road. This has been a team that's managed to put together one of the best home records in baseball. So we'll see if they can continue to do that here starting in tonight's homestand opener. Merrifield in the box, and Gonsalves delivers a fastball for a strike. Twins thought that Gonsalves was climbing the ladder of success, if you will. A short start in his first start. Admitted that his back leg was shaking while he was pitching. Wow, that'll calm you down. A liner, and he catches it chest high. One down. When you hear the crack of the bat and the pop of the glove that close together.
That close together.
88 miles per hour off the bat and one out in the books. Mondesi will hit next. At any rate, in Gonsalves' major league debut, just an inning and a third, control issues, 6 hits, 4 runs. It wasn't good. And then he took a step forward. He still ended up with the loss, but he went 5 innings and gave up 4 earned runs. And then a bit of a step backward in Texas. Hoping for a step forward here. Now to right center field, and that'll drop in front of Kepler for a base hit. Mondesi aboard with 1 out in the inning. The Twins out in the field with Rosario, fixture in left, and we hope it'll be that way for the balance of the season. Jake Cave getting more and more time in center. Max Kepler in right. A-Ray Adrianza in at third. Miguel Sano not ready to play yet. Polanco, Forsythe, Maurer, the rest of the infielders. Garver behind the plate. And Eddie held out of action for most of the road trip. And a first pitch strike to Alex Gordon.
Well, so far, so much very better for Steven Gonsalves. The issue for him has been command of his fastball and his changeup. He's primarily a fastball changeup pitcher, and the command just hasn't been there. He's off to a better start, throwing a lot of strikes to the first 3 hitters.
And that off of Garver's glove to the backstop, and Mondesi will go to second. Should be a wild pitch, I would think, even though Garver got leather on it.
We showed you the stats for Steven Gonsalves at the very open of the game. And we look at the wild pitch. It looked like he tried to throw some kind of cutter or slider or some kind of spin like that Garver wasn't ready for. But the thing about Gonsalves is that he's going to give up a lot of hits, and he has that kind of stuff. He's not a strikeout guy.
Tap foul. Was ruled a wild pitch, allowing Mondesi to go to second.
So the walks, we showed you the stats, 10 walks in 10 innings. That will not get it done for a guy that's going to give up some hits as well. I mean, the walks and hits to innings pitch is one of the most important stats that you can have for a pitcher. You want that as low as possible, obviously. He's got to find his command, the command that he had in the minor leagues.
Runner goes to third, and the pitch popped up, and Adrianza has a chance for the catch, and going into a slide. Still time for Mondesi to hustle back to second. He had third base stolen, and the ball was popped up foul, 2 down. The Royals, now they're going to take a look. The Twins, I think, are going to look and see whether Mondesi retouched third base. If he came off the bag, whether he retouched it. And here we are, 3 at bats into the game. And it looks like we will play on. The batter is Hunter Dozier. He's been one of Kansas City's hottest hitters lately. And he takes down and in a ball.
That's a good pitch. And I like the use of that big slow curveball. It's not a pitch that we've seen Gonsalves throw a lot, and certainly we have not seen it when he has thrown it any kind of command like that. That was an excellent pitch, and I think the umpire missed it.
There's a strike. As we talked about when Cole Stewart was on the mound, pitch to contact works. It can work, but you cannot do as Gonsalves has done, and that is walk a lot of people in combination with the pitch to contact approach. 1-1 to Dozier. Flared foul, 1-2. Nice catch by the ball girl.
And like many terms that are used in baseball, I think pitch to contact is a funny one. It tells half the story. I mean, you want to pitch to bad contact.
Right, right.
And so in order to pitch to bad contact, you have to throw a lot of strikes, move the ball around the strike zone with all of your pitches, and make quality pitches, stay ahead, and don't walk people. It's really pretty simple. Not that easy to do, but pretty straightforward.
1-2, and there goes a runner to third again, and a liner right over the Twins railing in the dugout. Royals like to steal bases, and they like to steal third. Merrifield included. Now twice here in the first inning, Mondesi scampered to third base. Twins don't have much of a shift on, respecting Dozier's ability to hit the ball on the ground to the opposite field. So Mondesi starts with a pretty healthy lead. Great base stealers of my childhood, Lou Brock, Maury Wills, they often said that stealing third was easier because you didn't have anybody holding you on, and you could start with a bigger lead and have less fear of being picked off. Swung on and missed, and Gonsalves pitches to no contact, striking out Dozier and pitching a scoreless top of the first. The base running ability of Adalberto Mondesi. Got a good jump a couple of times off of second base, and what the inside move from Gonsalves might be able to do to keep him closer. The Menards batting order for the Twins: Joe Mauer leading off, Jorge Polanco, Eddie Rosario, Logan Forsythe, Jake Cave, Mitch Garver, Max Kepler, Robbie Grossman, and A-Ray Adrianza.
And the home furniture starting pitcher for the Kansas City Royals, Heath Philmeyer. You see his stats there. The biggest stat that we've seen from Philmeyer is the hour-and-a-half rain delay he brought on last time they were here, and he was a starting pitcher. They like this guy. They think he's got some insides. They think he's a tough guy, sinker slider type pitcher.
And he's given the Royals 4 quality starts in his 9 starts, so we'll see what happens here tonight. Joe Mauer in the leadoff spot, then Polanco and Rosario. Philmeyer came from Oakland for Brandon Moss and Ryan Buckner. That in the offseason prior to this year. And a first pitch strike. Twins and Royals have each won 6 games in the season series so far. 3 to be played here left on the season series schedule, and 4 in Kansas City next week. Fouled away, 2 strikes. Royals have the 2nd worst record in the American League. Only Baltimore has a worse record. If the Orioles lose tonight, it will be their 100th loss of the year. Inside to Mauer, 1-2.
There's a little slider there. The attempt at the old back foot slider for the strikeout attempt. There's a reason why that back foot slider is effective against left-handers. That's a little bit bigger breaking ball. You can see the 2 flash there by Salvador Perez, the Royals catcher. But the reason that back foot slider has been developed over time is because left-handers tend to be low ball hitters, low fastball hitters, and the slider comes up there at knee high looking like a fastball, and they start to swing and it breaks below the bat back toward their back foot.
Mauer taps it foul, stays alive. That's one of the pitches that, since we talked about Taylor Rogers in the pregame show, one of the pitches that's helped him be more effective against right-handed hitters, a quicker breaking ball that could be, I guess, interpreted as being a back foot slider.
No question about it. He's been very much better at that trajectory.
2-2, Mauer. And a called 3rd strike. And Joe thought the pitch was low. 1 down, and that'll bring up Polanco.
That take by Joe is a little bit of a mystery. I think maybe they caught him just thinking a little bit different, looking for a different pitch, or something got in his mind there, because this is a pitch basically in Joe's wheelhouse, and I think you see Joe opening up just a little bit. I think he was looking for something inside or something else. Maybe thought that ball was going to sink more than it ended up doing.
Polanco takes a strike. We've seen Polanco threaten the bunt regularly, but we haven't seen many bunt to hits from Polanco. Paul Mahler talked about it in his meeting with the media. He'd like to see his team in the final weeks of the season be more aggressive on the bases. And if a bunt is given to you, somebody like Polanco who could beat it out, take it. Let's try to create a little something on the base paths. That is a fair ball, an easy 2-hopper for Dozier, and there are 2 down. Check out the Royals in the field, and not many names that were there when they won the World Series just a few years ago. Gordon was in left, now Merrifield's in center. Jorge Bonifacio in right. Escobar was a shortstop, now he's in third. Mondesi and Herrera up the middle. Dozier at first. And Perez missed a week with a bad thumb. He's back in the lineup for the first time tonight. Figured he'd
Salvador, he was racing to get back in the lineup in Minnesota.
Probably didn't sleep well last night knowing he was going to be playing here against the Twins at Target Field tonight. 2 down. Here is Rosario, and the Twins are glad to have him back in the lineup. Outside, ball 1.
The 2 guys that are in the lineup for the Royals, as we look at Eddie Rosario, who were on those World Series teams, have absolutely destroyed the Twins, especially here at Target Field, Gordon and Perez.
And that is a backhanded by Mondesi, and Rosario, unable to run full speed, it appears, is retired on a fine play by Mondesi, and what looked to be an outfield hit, then an infield hit, and as it turned out, it was neither.
Time for some clubhouse scoop. Tyler Austin has done some really good things since coming over to the Twins, but he's sore right now. Got the back issues that Paul Mauder said they want to give him a little more rest. We'll see later in the weekend if Austin can return to the lineup. Home cooking's been the real topic of conversation all day. Mitch Garver believes it's the crowds. He said the crowds have been consistently good. They've been vocal, and we seem as a young team to get energized by our home crowd. Final point is Chris Jimenez. Speaking of home, it's his first time back at home since he came back. The Twins, big bear hug from Irvin Santana. Said he remembers all the magic last year down the stretch making the playoffs. He's so happy to be back, and he said he wants to be a good mentor to some of these young players, teach them what it takes to be a pro and play every game like it's your last.
Pretty good attitude to have. Thank you, Kevin. Jorge Bonifacio will lead things off, then Salvador Perez and Rosal Herrera. And now Gonsalves misses with his first 3 offerings here in the second inning. Bonifacio just 3 for 26 against the Twins this year. Not a guy you want to walk. And there is a strike 3-1. Gonsalves started in Double-A, and he started out slowly. He had some control issues, command issues, then was promoted to Triple-A and found his way here. There's a ball flared into short center. That'll drop for a hit right off the trademark base hit to lead off the second inning. That'll bring up Perez. The AARP take on Salvador's Perez's power here at Target Field. When you passed Encarnacion on the home run list here at Target Field, you've done something. And Perez now has 16 home runs here at Target Field, more than Encarnacion, Bautista, and others,
including Miguel Cabrera.
Fouled back. Perez has hit 3 home runs against the Twins this year. Mentioned the Twins have won half of the games with Kansas City, but they're 5-1 here. And I'm guessing that means they're 1-5 in Kansas City. See if Gonsalves can get a ground ball hit at somebody here. Pop up, and it'll be back into the seats. 0-2. It'll be a different world for Perez. A holdover from back-to-back World Series teams that the Royals had in 2014 and 15. But especially for him, I would think, to have to catch so many different pitchers as the Royals try to reconstruct the pitching staff. There's a high fly to left field on an 0-2 pitch. Rosario is back, and he has just enough room. 1 down. Not much breeze, but when that ball left home plate, I thought it was gone.
Yeah, he just got under it, looked like. I thought it had a chance too. A hanging breaking ball with 2 strikes, it looked like. And Perez makes a living on not missing pitches like this. Coils up, uncoils, just not quite extended, and consequently got under it just a little bit.
Here is Herrera, switch hitting second baseman. Swung on and missed. Well, the weather's perfect for viewing purposes, but we've seen hot and humid days here, of course, this summer where the ball tends to jump, and maybe the weather, as much as anything else, kept that ball in the ballpark. Whatever, Gonsalves will take it. 1 strike to Herrera. And they have him picked off. Out number 2. So Gonsalves picks off Bonifacio. In the first inning, the Royals tried a couple of times to steal third base. And here on the 0-1 pitch, a throw over and a pickoff.
One nice little move by Gonsalves, which is very close to a balk move, frankly. And that's why you got the pickoff.
Now off the plate, 1-1. When a balk is called on that play, we thought we had one in the Houston series a couple nights ago. in their first strike. It's got to be the first base umpire who makes the balk call, right?
Correct. On that play it is. The pitcher needs to make a definitive step toward first base, and that line, that step is a squishy thing.
And no one was more squishy about it than Andy Pettit. Andy Pettit was.
He was terrific.
Derwin Danley, the home plate umpire. Bruce Dreckman, John Lipka, Chad Fairchild on the bases. 1-2. Fastball up high. And that's the high end for Gonsalves. 91, maybe 92. Tried to get Herrera to chase. Two and two. And now 3-2. As Roy said, walks have been an issue for Gonsalves. 10 walks, 10 innings. And then you mix in the 19 hits, and you can understand why the ERA was almost 10 coming into play today. Missed down and in. And the Twins dugout, I think, wanted that. I'm sure Gonsalves did, but it's a walk with 2 down in the second. We'll bring up Alcides Escobar.
Missed just in off the plate. Pretty good pitch there. Tough pitch to take. That pitch could have gone either way, and if it had gone the other way, the hitter could not have griped about that. That's too close to take.
Here is Escobar. Breaking ball down and in.
We're seeing a lot more breaking balls already than we've seen in his other starts, and Gonsalves' other starts. And I like the idea, especially starting a hitter off with a breaking ball, kind of a get me over curveball. Not in favor of an 0-2 or a 2-strike hanging curveball to Salvador Perez, but the first pitch curveball, if you can throw it for a strike, is very effective for a pitch to contact kind of guy.
Adrianza will go the short way to end the top of the second inning. Again, in a walk, no damage done, still scoreless here at Target Field. Forsythe, Jake Cave, and Mitch Garver facing Heath Philmeyer. 2-1. Saw the ERA when we introduced him to you, a little over 4. And it'll be Forsythe, Cave, and Garver facing Philmeyer in the second. Forsythe hitting an even 300 as a Twin right now. Coming to the Twins in the Brian Dozier deal. Brian hitting under 200 now for the Dodgers. And the Dodgers, of course, have a chance to get to postseason play, and the Twins do not. Swung on and missed, 0-2. Dodgers start the day a game and a half behind Colorado, game ahead of Arizona in the National League West. But the Dodgers, of course, in the wild card mix as well. Pitches up, and it's 1-2.
Well, Phil Meyer is touted as a sinker ball pitcher. We've seen some of that, but we've also seen the forcing fastball, like that high fastball right there.
Breaking ball, tap foul.
And that curveball, that's not really the slider. So what we've seen so far is low fastball has some sink to it. Fastball higher has been the forcing fastball. He's trying to throw it harder and ride it on the hitter. Then he's got a slider and a curveball.
Tapped up the line, foul.
That looked like a little hanging curveball. Forsythe, I'd like to have that one back.
Everything that's been hit's been hit right into the ground, including the last 2 outs of the first inning. One and two. Oh, up under his chin with a fastball. Two and two. And now 3-2 with Cave on deck. Forsythe, like Dozier, a free agent after the year. There's nothing that says he will be back with the Twins. Nothing says he won't be back with the Twins. I think they've been impressed with him on the field, in the clubhouse. Fouled back just beneath us.
Well, I think he's a professional player, and I've thought that since I saw him play with Tampa Bay some years ago.
Right.
Went to the Dodgers, didn't play a lot.
And then when he did play, he played around different positions.
Right. Much more comfortable for him here. I think we're seeing the results.
Ooh, a little bit low, very close to the pitch that struck out Mauer, although I think that was the fastball, but pretty much the same spot.
Right in the same spot. That one was a strike too. And, you know, this is a pitch a pitcher wants, for sure.
So the fastball called low, and in the same spot, the changeup, I think it was to Joe, was called a strike. Strike three. At any rate, the Twins get their first base runner, and now here's Jake Cave. Takes at the knees, a strike. Last week or so, the Royals starting pitching has been really good. Phil Meyer, part of that. Coming up with a good start his last time out. A couple of runs, 7 innings against the Orioles. Swung on and missed, and it's 0-2.
You see the target that Salvador Perez was giving his young pitcher up in the strike zone. It's where you have to pitch Jake Cave to be successful. Fastball's up. Jake, kind of a classic left-handed low ball hitting, low fastball, hanging breaking ball, hitting lefty. See the target up there, trying to go up above the swing of Jake Cave.
Fly ball left center field. Merrifield coming in to make the catch, one away. That'll bring up Mitch Garver. When you won 10 more than you've lost, you know, under any circumstance, you're playing pretty well. That's good. If you could just do that on the road, you'd be 20 games over 500. But clearly, it's been a big issue for the Twins, who've won roughly a third of their games on the road. That's our DQ combination. And as we said, Twins have not had a losing homestand since early June.
Well, they played very, very well here at Target Field, and I think it's kind of the last one of the last pieces of the puzzle for a young team is to get comfortable playing in front of your hometown and coming up with a home field advantage. Took this group a while to do that.
Actually, it was mid-May the last time the Twins had a losing homestand. 1-0 now to Mitch Garver. And a swing and a miss, 1-1. Forsythe at first, not much of a threat to steal. Twins haven't had much success running on Salvador Perez's arm over the years. That's taken low, 2-1.
Speaking of Perez, you were talking about it being different for him with all the new pitchers that he has to work with. But what better guy to have back there if you're trying to establish a young rotation, a young pitching staff? Can't imagine a better guy to have back there as the catcher that is going to shepherd these guys along.
2-1 to Garver. He's hit left just under the glove of Mondesi. He took a hit away from Rosario, and that ball hit just hard enough to get under the glove. And the Twins have runners at first and second with one out. That'll bring up Kepler.
Good swing by Mitch here. Gets the ball up, and even though it's got a little sink to it, he's able to get enough of it, hit the ball hard enough to get it beyond the reach of a diving Mondesi.
Kepler with two men on and only one out. And a belt high strike. Kepler with 18 home runs. Disappointing batting average at .226. Would like to have a good final 3 weeks. 3.5 weeks. Inside, 1-1.
Really like watching Salvador Perez catch. You see how animated he is, and animated is a relative term in the big leagues, but he is pretty definitive about where he holds his target, where he wants his pitcher to throw the pitch that he's called, that they've agreed on.
Popped up near third. And Escobar with the catch, 2 down. Before that pitch, you saw Perez looking at a little bit of a cheat sheet. You see more and more catchers that have the Velcro wristband, and underneath there's some scouting report, analytical data that they look at. You can see it on his left arm. I think baseball's determined now that pitchers can do that too. Joe West confiscated a card. You can't have it on your wrist, but Joe West confiscated a card from a pitcher. There's Perez looking at maybe a Cliff Notes version of the scouting report on Grossman, where to pitch him, what sequence. First and second, 2 down. A speed pitch. Ball 1.
I think what's happened is that a catcher as smart as Perez is would have an idea in the days before analytics, have an idea about the opposing hitters and where he thinks they ought to be pitched. But depending on who the pitcher is, whether the pitcher can throw it where they normally want him to throw it, or where you think he might get a hitter out, would change. And so a pitcher that throws 97 is going to have potentially a bit different program against a given hitter than someone that throws 89 and 90.
1-1 to Grossman. Up and away. Remember years ago when A.J. Pierzynski was working his way through the minor league system of the Twins the second time. I talked to John Russell, who was his manager, Double-A. 2-1. John was, of course, former catcher himself, and I asked him, I said, what were Pierzynski's strengths? And expecting to hear something about hitting or throwing or whatever. And he said, no, his memory. That A.J. Pierzynski had a really good memory. And then you think about it, well, of course, that'd be an essential tool for a catcher. How you got somebody out in the first inning might be different than how you might get them out in the seventh. And how you get them out here in Minnesota might be different than, you know, if you had success with something here, you might bookmark that and bring it back next weekend when the Twins are in Kansas City.
Right, and also what did a hitter do against certain pitches in certain counts, and you know, if catchers can remember that and go back to that, hitters will catch on to patterns too. And so remembering how you got a hitter out one time, maybe showing him something different when it's not a critical situation, so that you can go back to the other way with the game on the line or with guys on base.
Full count, runners go, and close but low again, and they're loaded up.
That was a good take there by Robbie Grossman. It was a changeup. He swung and missed a changeup in 2 pitches earlier than that, and then was able to lay off that low changeup there to load the bases. I thought this ball was low. I thought it was a good take and a good call.
Yeah.
Yep.
So 2 walks, a single, and they're loaded up for the number 9 batter, A-Ray Adrianza. Twins really had a tough time scoring runs in Houston. A lot of people do against that pitching staff. A little pop-up short center field. Merrifield coming in, still coming in. He won't get there. The ball goes behind him, and 2 runs will score. The throw to the plate, and Adrianza alertly goes to second. Hit right off the end of the bat, and it's a 2-run single.
Well, here you see a little spinner right there that Dick's right, got right off the end of the bat, but hit it in the perfect spot. Merrifield, normally the second baseman, now playing center field. Can't get to it, and Bonifacio makes a bad mistake overthrowing the cutoff man there when there was no chance of getting the runner at home.
And now Mauer with a hit to the outfield could double the lead. Over the inside corner, strike 1. Joe called out on strikes, leading off the bottom of the first inning. Up and in. 1-1. Joe hoping to put on a good final 3.5 weeks. See if he can get his average up to 300. Rosario has a chance for a 300 batting average. On the ground right to Mondesi. Twins get 2 but leave 2 and have the first lead of the ball game.
Leading off the game for the 7th time this season, Francisco Lindor ties a Cleveland franchise record with those 7 leadoff home runs. And for an encore later in the game, another home run. 2 home runs, 4 hits, 4 RBIs, 3 runs scored. Cleveland routs Toronto 9-4. Their magic number down to 7. They're 80-60. And guys, they're up tonight 2-1 in the 6th inning.
Well, thank you, Kevin. Not because I'm working with a shortstop for this homestand, because I wasn't when we were in Texas, but I again said if I had a vote for the league MVP, as great a season as Mookie Betts has had, and it's one of the best seasons ever.
JD Martinez
and JD
Jose
Martinez,
Ramirez.
right?
Yep.
But Lindor's my guy, because I don't know where the Indians would be without him. I think the Red Sox would probably still win a high fly to short left, and if Rosario can track it in the twilight, he'll make the catch. I mean, the Indians have had some, issues with their lineup, but the one constant, well, I guess the 2 constants, Jose Ramirez and Francisco Lindor, plus he plays shortstop.
And just to torture the example a little bit more, he's a switch hitter. So, I mean, you're not going to get any argument from me.
Okay. 1 down, and here's Whit Merrifield. Hit a liner on the 2nd pitch of the game, right back to Gonsalves. He didn't have to move his glove. Strike 1. It'll be an interesting award once it's announced after the World Series.
Well, they're all deserving guys. There's no question. Everybody that's going to be considered seriously is absolutely deserving.
JD Martinez, DH, but he might win the Triple Crown.
Right.
1-1 to Whit Merrifield. And he punches it through the hole on the right side. That's what we've seen so often from Merrifield. You can't shift him because he's just a good hitter. Another base hit, 3rd Royals single against Gonsalves.
And Pizza Ranch for the win tonight for the Twins. It's all around the starting pitcher, Steven Gonsalves. And I think command of his changeup low in the strike zone is very important. He's basically, as I said, a fastball changeup pitcher. And in his first starts, he has not had that changeup as a good part of his arsenal. He's been up in the zone with it all the time. He just hasn't gotten it down. It's better so far tonight. And he's also mixed in a bigger breaking ball and been close to the strike zone with that, if not in it close enough to impress the Royals hitters. So far, much better in terms of throwing strikes with fastball, changeup, and then another pitch.
A subplot now, Merrifield, the league's leader in stolen bases, at first. Gonsalves throws over there. Gonsalves picked off Bonifacio after his leadoff single in the 2nd. He singled, went to 2nd on a wild pitch in the 1st. And a strike. So Merrifield saw Bonifacio get picked off, but now he's got a chance to look at Gonsalves from first base. Looking at the leg kick, any little tell that will give him a tip to take off. In scoop by Garver.
The great base stealers, and I talked with Maury Wills back in the day. I've heard Lou Brock talk about this. The great base stealers. You mentioned stealing 3rd, it being easier. It's so much easier to find a tell on a pitcher trying to steal 3rd. Pitchers don't have a quote move to second base, and they get in a habit, a pattern that runners can tell, whether it's how many times they look back or just little things. The great base stealers were looking for little mannerisms, like you say. They also say that they would rather steal. It was easier to steal off left-handers, and you wouldn't think so because the left-hander can hold the ball and hold his motion and everything. But they said they could find tells more easily against left-handers. Right-handers just were quick over there. They didn't really have as much of a clear tell, if you will, to use your term. the slower, left-handers feel like they have a slow delivery. So when the base runner sees it early, boy, he gets a lot of extra steps.
Fouled away, and it's 3-2.
Right-handers are trying to quicken up their delivery to home plate. Left-handers are slow because they feel like because they're facing the runner, they have an advantage. They can watch him longer. But if a good base runner picks up what that little mannerism is, it doesn't matter. The slowness of the delivery it just gives them an advantage.
Snap throw and a nice scoop by Mauer. He nearly put the tag on Merrifield. I haven't seen that move before. Stepped off the rubber. Ooh. I don't know if the Twins are going to challenge it. Nope.
That's a very nice extra move to give a base stealer something to think about.
Going down 3-2. Runner doesn't go, and there's ball 4. So a single followed by a walk. It's the second walk issued by Gonsalves, and the Royals have a threat here with 1 down. Wednesday, September 12th, it's Minnesota Wild Night at Target Field. A limited number of Wild theme night ticket packages are available that include a game ticket and a Twins Wild co-branded stocking cap. You can learn more at twinsbaseball.com/wild or call 800-33-TWINS. Here's Alex Gordon, fouled out for the second out of the first inning. Pitch is up. Well, the strike to ball ratio has been okay for Gonsalves. 42 pitches, 25 strikes. But he's followed up Merrifield's hit with a walk, and now ball 1 to Gordon. Swung on and missed. Second, Gonsalves spins around. Merrifield's stolen third base 11 times. 11 of his 30 bases have been third base. And there he goes. And the pitch pulled into the right field corner. And it looks like it's going to tie the game. Merrifield scores, Mondesi being waved around, and Gordon with a 2-run double. And it's tied now at 2. Three straight batters have reached. Gonsalves running into some difficulty here the second time through the order.
Well, Gordon gets a breaking ball right in the middle of the zone there. Out in front of it a little bit, but has enough of it to whip it down the right field line. Mondesi off with a pitch behind Merrifield going to third, so he scores easily. And you just, it can't be overstated the importance of throwing the ball in the strike zone early. It just, and we can talk about it with every pitcher, every game, every day.
Another first pitch non-strike, 1-0. Hunter Dozier struck out his first time up. And now 2-0.
Yeah, see, he loses his command. This has happened in each one of his starts now. He doesn't have the kind of stuff that he can get back in counts. And walking guys ahead of being behind guys 1-0, 2-0 in the big leagues is just not going to work.
3-0 now, 7 of 12 first pitch strikes, and now he's in danger of filling first base with Bonifacio on deck.
There's a great example of the changeup that he doesn't have command of, and he wants it 2-0. It's a fastball count. He wants to throw a changeup instead, and he's out in front. His arm drags. He throws it high. Now it's 3-0 instead of getting a chance to get a swing and miss or an easy out on the changeup if it were in a good spot in a fastball count. you really only have one thing as a pitcher, and that's the stuff in the strike zone. That's really all you have going for you.
And a 4-pitch walk does fill first base. Fourth walk now. Excuse me, third walk issued by Gonsalves, but second this inning. And here comes Garvin Alston to the mound. One of the options, of course, was to start an opener here tonight and let Gonsalves kind of do what a couple of other inexperienced pitchers have done this year, just have better results. Cole Stewart the other day had better results after the first inning was pitched, but in that case the game was already 4-0. So the Twins will want to get a good look at Gonsalves, send him out there to start the game, see how long he can go, hoping that he can give the Twins 5 innings and a decent chance of winning the ball game here. It's tied right now at 2. Bonifacio singled and was picked off in the second inning. Blocked by Garvin. And another ball on the first pitch. Chopped foul. Twins giving Gonsalves too long of a leash. There's some bullpen activity going. Alan Buznit's getting loose. 1-1. 4 straight Royals have reached. And now 5 have reached, with Bonifacio dumping one down the line. Gordon will score. And Rosario's throw to second keeps Bonifacio at first. But now the Royals have taken the lead on a succession of 3 hits and 2 walks. That'll bring up Perez.
Looked like a slider or cutter here. Again, he gets in on Bonifacio. Bonifacio hasn't hit one above the label yet, but he's a strong guy. So he gets way in on him, but he was able to muscle the ball. That's
going to be it for Steven Gonsalves. Second time through the order, not very good at all for Gonsalves, as he gives up 3 hits and 2 walks. First time through the order, no damage done. A couple of hits and a walk, but Royals have piled on here second time through, and Gonsalves is out of the game. himself has ran into all kinds of trouble second time through. He didn't get anybody out the second time through. Is out of the ball game, trailing 3-2 with runners at first and third and one down. And this might have resulted in the pitching move as much as anything else. Somebody's got to try to figure out how to get this guy out in this ballpark. It's not just home runs. Look at the batting average.
And the runs batted in. He's just absolutely worn the Twins out here in target field. Loves hitting it here, and obviously. One of those funny things about baseball, once a guy gets comfortable in a ballpark, it seems to just stay that way. It's the baseball law of inertia or something.
Well, Alan Buznitz will come in and try to keep this a 3-2 ball game. First and third, one down. Some good moments for Buznitz along the way. A 4-0 record. And a first pitch strike with that breaking ball he's been working on, throwing it more often, and throwing it more often on the first pitch, which is the ultimate sign of increased confidence, I would think. If you throw it and it's 1-0, that's not going to do a whole lot for your confidence. Tap foul, 0-2.
Well, it's around the league that he's got a good fastball. There's no question about that. And big league hitters, when they have a pretty good idea the fastball's coming, are going to tattoo that pitch around the ballpark. And so Buznitz had to show that he can throw something else, and he's over for strikes. He's been able to do that, as you say.
Needs a strikeout here. See what he goes with on 0-2. Breaking ball in the dirt, blocked by his catcher. It was an 0-2 pitch in the second inning. Breaking ball, and Perez nearly hit it into the seats.
See, I think he's with 0-2. If he wants to strike him out with a breaking ball, I really like showing him one fastball up, inside or up or something.
And then go down.
And then go back to curveball. Just get him thinking about how good that fastball is, and then go back to the curve.
Lace to the bullpen.
Unbelievable.
And I mean to the bullpen. A 3-run home run for Perez, and it's 5-2. Threw him 2 breaking balls, but didn't get him off the fastball.
And that's why I say show him something else, but not to hit something inside or high, just to give him, make him stay on that fastball, and then you can get back to the curve. But you threw him one down the middle, and that was tattooed. You see it right here, just right in the wheelhouse at 97. But it doesn't matter if they're looking fastball. You can't throw it too hard for him. They just never convinced him that he was going to get curveball.
I think there was a time when 97 might have overwhelmed a lot of hitters because they didn't see 93, 94 on a regular basis. Does that make any sense? Fouled away.
Well, sure. I mean, if all of a sudden, pitchers are generally 3 to 4 miles an hour faster, it's going to be tougher. You're just not used to that. But of course, you're talking to a guy that played in a different era that's not exactly convinced that they're throwing all that much harder than they used to, right? So I know there was difference in radar guns and different things. So it's pretty hard to quantify.
2-1. In a nutshell, I think what we're talking about is back in the day when they started measuring fastballs, they measured it at a stage of deceleration. Now they measure it right out of the pitcher's hand. And so 97 now might have registered 94 a few years ago.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And I would tell you that when Nolan Ryan was throwing 100, that
it didn't decelerate.
Guys didn't have the same swings at that I see it on 100 miles an hour now. They just didn't. And you can say, well, the hitters are way better now. Well, maybe. I don't know.
7 straight Royal have batted here. 6 of them have already scored. StatCast AI powered by AWS, and it had that sound, and it had enough distance. A 3-run home run for Perez. 5 of the runs this inning charged to Gonsalves. And now Buznitz has given up a home run and a walk to the first 2 batters he's faced. And Garver didn't have much of a chance at that one. Up against the screen, a wild pitch, and Herrera goes to second. Twins were hoping for a step forward from Gonsalves, but that didn't happen. Buznitz having some issues. With the wild pitch, the double play, ground ball double play taken off the boards. Foul back. 1-1. In the inning, single walk double, walk single home run walk. That's all after the first out. Gallagher hit a short fly ball to left to start this inning. Of the bat foul again, 1-2. Second start in a row where like Buznitz had figured some things out. First time through the order, okay, and then the ball bounced off the line. Great knockdown by Mauer, but there'll be no out. He saved a run. Diving attempt almost to the chalk line, and it's an infield hit for Escobar, and now 8 straight Royals have reached. And on the play, Herrera goes to third. And Gallagher will have another shot at things here in the 3rd inning. Made the only out of the inning so far. And it's going to be Ryan O'Hearn hitting for Gallagher. O'Hearn's been swinging the bat well.
Kind of surprised he wasn't in the lineup. He's been extraordinarily hot. He and Dozier combined on some history making to get a walk-off win not long ago.
Lefty thing, I would imagine, with Gonsalves starting. At any rate, he's in the ball game now. Pretty impressive numbers put up by O'Hearn. Buznitz gets ahead, 0-1. And now a swing and a miss. Last 13 games, he's hitting .340. 10 extra base hits, 13 runs batted in. Kicks away by Garver, who's had to block quite a few here in the first 3 innings. Buznitz struggling, and now Moya getting loose.
Boy, it's tough to start a homestand with a short start and your first reliever struggling as well. You could see an awful lot of pitchers today to start a 6-day homestand.
And a high fastball gets you. O'Hearn strikes out. And the number 9 spot in the orders made both out so far. 2 different hitters. And now Merrifield started this with a line drive single to right.
Well, that last fastball there is an example of where Buznitz can be good. He's got a live fastball. It's pretty straight. Really needs to stay out of the middle of the plate. Obviously, that's where Salvador Perez got the ball that he launched. But that fastball will play around the perimeters of the zone and then add the curveball, and he's got some stuff. He's got to be able to stay out of the middle of the zone with it and mix in enough fastballs to get guys off thinking about just that, so he can use the breaking ball and vice versa.
Breaking ball off the plate, ball one. There's one for a strike, and I believe, let's say 20 pitches now, he's thrown 8 breaking balls. The first one and the last one are the only ones he's thrown for strikes.
And probably the best one he threw, Escobar actually spoiled it. He made a great 2-strike curveball down and away that Escobar just got the end of the bat and fouled away before his little bleeder of a hit.
Another breaking ball missing, and it's 2-1. To the fastball on a swinging strike 2.
One out.
Field's hit 2 line drives, one back to Gonsalves to start the ball game, and the other one ended up in the grass in right field. And Mauer catches the line drive. Merrifield's hit 3 line drives, 2 of them caught for outs. In the third, the Royals score 6 and now lead it 6-2. Well, Chris Jimenez trying to encourage Alan Buznitz after Buznitz eventually got out of the inning but gave up a big 3-run home run. And Salvador Perez hit that home run.
Again.
And Jorge Polanco will lead off the bottom of the third.
Well, you were talking about Polanco taking base hits when they present themselves. This would be a great time. Third baseman playing way back is the only one there. Go ahead and take that. They're down 4 runs. They need base runners. This would be a beautiful time just to lay one down. Polanco has a tendency to run before he gets the ball down a lot, and so that's the way to do it. He had so much of it. Just make it like a sacrifice. Perfect. That was perfect. There's nobody in the world. You square around and you bunt the ball right there, and nobody can throw you out. You can walk down the first one. Watch how still he stays. Bunt the ball now, run. Perfect. Guy playing back there, going to give you that. Look how still his head is right here. This is a great look at it. see the ball off the bat, now run. I watched Rod Carew do that. I don't know how many times, and third base is playing in, and he would still do it that exact same way and get a base hit.
Here is Rosario. Looked like he got a base hit his first time up. Mondesi turned in a good play. You know, the great bunters, and Carew certainly was one. Kenny Lofton was one.
Yep.
The quickness or the speed in the act of bunting is to get into the bunting position and then slow things down. Is that?
Yeah, it's exactly right, Dick. That's a perfect way to describe it.
You would see Lofton, he'd snap his bat down, and then it was there in the bunting position.
And his head was still, and he'd bunt and the bat was still, and he'd bunt the ball, and he would not move after that until the ball was down, and then he would run like crazy. But too many guys think that they have to be running as they bunt so that they get a head start, and you can't make a good bunt that way. You end up fouling it off or missing it or making a bad bunt. And then you get discouraged and don't try to bunt anymore.
2-0.
But now when they play these shifts, my goodness, they're allowing you to square around like it's a sacrifice and put the ball in a good position and trot down to first with your base hit.
And strike taken, 2-1.
I mean, people will talk, hitting coaches will talk about the most important thing to do as a hitter is keep your head still as you're seeing the ball and getting ready to swing. Well, if it's important when you're hitting, how can it be any less important than when you're bunting? Just makes sense to me.
2-1. I think what we saw in Rosario's ground ball looked like it was going to get to the outfield grass, but then picked off by Mondesi. Rosario still unable to run at full speed.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question that he would have beat that out with a healthy quadricep, or at least a quadricep that he wasn't still just a little bit concerned about.
3-1 with Forsythe on deck. Missed. Rosario taking aim for the plaza, and it's 3-2.
Yeah, he was a little frustrated with himself taking the 2-0 fastball. It was right there, about just above knee high. A perfect pitch for Eddie. I would say that, of course, Eddie's never met a pitch anywhere close to strike, so he doesn't think he can hit hard. But about mid-thigh high was his perfect pitch, and he took it 2-0. That was it right there.
Hack to left field, a base hit, and gingerly Rosario goes to first. And the Twins have a couple of hits here to start this third inning. Rosario had a chance to drive in 100, score 100, and hit 300. Now, the best chance he has, of course, is to hit 300. And he's aboard, a pair of singles to open the third inning. I got a surprise answer from Tony Oliva, because as Eddie was taking batting practice today, I asked Tony, I said, if you could do just one, what would you rather do? Score 100 runs, drive in 100 runs, or hit 300? And Tony said, well, all of them. But I said, no, that you didn't understand the question. Which he did. I said, but you can only do one. And I was surprised at the answer. He said he'd rather hit 300 than score 100 or drive in 100. And his logic made sense. If I'm hitting 300, I'm helping my team, and I'm helping the guys behind me driving me in, and I'm probably driving in some runs with my hits and all that. But that's from a 3-time batting champion.
And a guy who finished second twice and third 3 times.
Right.
In 8 seasons. First 8 seasons.
A strike to Forsythe, who drew a leadoff walk and scored a run in the second. Breaking ball off the plate, and it's 1-1.
Logan Forsythe, not exactly your prototypical cleanup hitter, 4th place hitter in a given lineup, but Paul Mulder respects the professionalism of his at bats.
Swung on and missed, and it's 1-2. Yeah, his next home run he hits will be his first for the Twins. But he's hitting fourth behind veterans Mauer, Polanco, and Rosario, and in front of less experienced hitters like Cave and Garver.
Right.
1-2. Just off the plate. 2-2. Twins trying to answer a 6-run Kansas City top of the 3rd inning.
2 on, nobody out. Come right back here, very important. They've got to get a run or 2. Hopefully they throw a 6th spot of their own up there, but they've got to get a run or 2 out of this.
And now 3-2. Forsythe took a good walk to lead off the 2nd. Maybe a more important one here in the 3rd. Cave on deck. Runners won't be going here. We're down by 4 runs. Chopped up the middle, and it bleeds through for a hit. Polanco will score. Rosario holds at 2nd. So Forsythe drives in the run at 6-3, and the tying run now coming to the plate.
And that's what we're talking about, the professional at bats that Logan Forsythe takes. He laid off a lot of tough pitches to get the count to 3-2. Got something he can handle. Didn't try to do too much with it. Right back up the middle. Would have been so easy. There were 2 or 3 pitches that could have struck him out had he. We've seen a lot of guys chase. He may not be the home run hitting cleanup guy, but a professional at bat there to get him a very important run and now get to some left-hand hitters.
Cave has 10 home runs, 30 runs batted in. Still nobody out here in the 3rd. Breaking ball. He fouled it back. 1 strike. Gonzalez clearly struggled in the 3rd inning. Well, 7 of the last 10 Twins hitters have reached against Phil Meyer. Taken down and away.
Well, there's an example of why 7 out of the last 10 have reached. The guys are taking good at bats here. Swinging the balls that they want to swing at and laying off balls they don't. That was a change up in the dirt that Jake laid off. Overly aggressive, cheating on fastball. He would have swung at that pitch, but looked like he saw it pretty well. Saw it early and saw it well.
1-1 to Cave. Tapped up the line, fouled, and Jeff Smith 1-2. Ball girl's been kept busy there. We're just in the 3rd inning. Big spot here for Cave. Rosario at 2nd and Forsythe at 1st. That's hit to the gap in left center. Gordon over. Won't get there. Great at bat for Cave. Rosario trots home. Forsythe will be held on a double by Jake Cave. And the tying run now at 2nd base.
One of the things that Jake Cave has done so well as he's gotten more playing time and gotten obviously more and more comfortable at the plate and with his swing is not missing balls that he thinks he should hit. That's a pitch, a fastball just outside of middle that Jake Cave with his swing should hit well, and he does. He does right there. He did not miss it. That was his pitch, and he did not foul it back, didn't swing and miss it, didn't. Eddie Rosario says nice at bat right there.
Well, look what your little prescribed bunt single led to here.
Right. get guys on, start having good at-bats, swing at good pitches, take ones that aren't good. A lot of good things can happen.
3 hits, none of them pulled. 2 to the opposite field. Forsythe was right up the middle. And now Garver has singled and scored his last time up. Cal Eldred's the pitching coach for the Royals. He's said his piece on his way back to the dugout. Kevin McCarthy getting loose. And Garver has a chance with a hit to the outfield to tie the game. Still nobody out in the 3rd inning. And the infield, middle infield, will play back. They're conceding the 5th run of the ball game here. Garver can hit a ground ball past the pitcher. Down and away, ball 1.
Well, speaking of a ground ball by the pitcher, when you get a situation here, you got a runner on second and a runner on third with nobody out, and the way the defense is playing, if you hit a ground ball by the pitcher anywhere from left to shortstop on around to the right side, you're going to get 1 in and 1 over, even if they catch the ground ball.
2-0.
So very easy here to play team baseball. Get yourself an RBI, get a runner over. Maybe it's a hit, maybe it's an out, but if you move this ball from the middle to the right side, 2 good things are going to happen.
Got a quick call here. Well, got to throw him a strike. But it's 3-0 now to Garver. First base open. Kepler on deck. Garver's shown some pretty good pop. Wouldn't be surprised, even though the Twins are down a run, and they let him swing away here. Got the green light. Swung and missed at a letter high fastball.
Yeah, not exactly the pitch that the perfect pitch. The 3-0 green light is what you're basically saying is get the perfect pitch. If you could set a ball on a tee and say this is my perfect pitch, where would it be? You look for that, and anything else you can just take. Because you're going to get another chance. If the ball's not there, you're going to get another chance 3-1. There's no sense swinging at that ball. That high fastball like that is not Mitch Garver's strength. And now you come back 3-1. Now get your perfect pitch again. Get it right where you want it. Good.
That's first strike.
See, I like that. If you're looking to drive the ball, if he wants to satisfy you on your call, Dick, then that's not the home run pitch. And now he's all right going to 3-2 because now you're in the situation where, see, this is not a home run pitch. That's a tough pitch. That's a 2-strike swing. Now you can hit that same pitch up the middle and get the one guy over and the one guy in. So now stay in the middle of the diamond. Don't try to do too much. Stay in the middle of the diamond.
Papert short.
That works.
A run will score, and Garver just barely retired at first. Put the ball in play, avoided the strikeout. 3rd run of the inning, and the tying run now 90 feet away. 2019 season tickets are on sale, and season ticket holders, of course, get the best seats at the best price and automatically become part of the Sweet Spot Rewards and Benefits program. Learn more at twinsbaseball.com/season tickets or call 800-33-TWINS.
So Garver had a couple of shots at going deep with 2 guys on. Then when he got to 2 strikes, he shortened up, just made contact, and got the situation that we were talking about. One of them in, one of them over to third with less than 2 out. So they can tie the score here on 2 consecutive bats without getting a hit.
Infield playing back. Popped up. It's backing out of play. Wonderful response here by the Twins, but so much of it depends on Kepler having a good at bat here. Popped up his last time up. Bluffs down the line. Kepler fouls, and now it's 0-2. Just everything for Garver, the count was 3-2. For Kepler, it's 0-2. But Garver was able to make contact and get a run in. That's what Kepler will have to try to do here. It's away from Perez, and he can't find the ball, and the tying run will score. A wild pitch with Perez popping out of his crouch. Not very many times you see the ball hit his glove. In fact, they'll give him a passed ball, allowing Cave to come in from third.
Yeah, you could see him look away from it a little bit. The ball's up. He was going to come out and throw, and he just looked away from the ball. Even the All-Stars do it.
It looked like he was ready to peg a throw to third.
That's exactly what he was doing. He was coming out of his crouch to throw to third. He just didn't watch the ball.
And now the count 2-2 to Kepler. Well, Twins have responded with 4 runs to tie the game. There's a decent chance we might be here a while tonight. Kepler hooks it wickedly foul. 70th pitch coming up for Philmeyer, and he's trying to get his 9th out.
The Royals were playing back there with 1 out and runner at third, and I don't understand that. I don't understand giving away the tying run, not playing in. I know it's early in the game, but still it's a tying run.
And Kepler now has a full count with Grossman on deck. And Kepler takes a walk, and Philmeyer has lost Kepler. After an 0-2 count, ends up walking Kepler. There'll be a pitching change here for the Royals. Well, Philmeyer had a 4-run lead and spit it all back. And Grossman will hit against a new Kansas City pitcher, McCarthy, and now we've got a tie game at 6. Face Kevin McCarthy.
Well, no reason to stop now. Twins hitters need to go up there against Kevin McCarthy and get him out of the game. Just get a parade of relievers. Everybody have fun up there at the plate.
McCarthy, a ground ball pitcher. Grossman will try to get one airborne, or at least get it into the outfield grass here. Royals had a 6-run third. Now the Twins have answered with at least 4. Grossman drew a walk his first time up. There's a ground ball, broken bat, 4-6. And Grossman beats the relay. 2 out now, and Adrianza will bat.
Play the new Vikings scratch games from the Minnesota Lottery. With the top prize up to $100,000, it pays to be a fan.
Grossman cracked his bat. Every once in a while you hear somebody say, well, he throws a heavy ball. Usually heavy balls get a lot of cracked bats.
And usually guys that throw that heavy ball are sinker ball pitchers, and so it compounds the bat issue.
And Adrianza tried to bunt in front of Escobar, but he bunted it foul.
And you see the difference there between if you saw Polanco's bunt and then watched Adrianza running out of there trying to bunt it as he was moving, even with the third baseman in as he's playing now. Good bunters will still take their time and make a good bunt before they start running.
Funny, isn't it? I love going down to spring training and spend just about every day at the complex in Fort Myers and moving around different fields. And one of my favorite things to do is to watch the bunting drills. And every time I leave there, I go, we're going to get 100 bunt hits this year. And then maybe 7 or 8, and that's about it. But it was a big one that started this inning. Down and in, and it's 2-1.
You see the downward movement there on that on McCarthy's fastball, and when a guy has that much sink and that much movement, moving down and to some degree away from left-handers, it's a losing proposition to try to pull him. This is where you really have to hit back through the ball, try to hit the ball in left field, hit back through it. And if you try to pull that ball, you hit right over the top of it like Robbie Grossman did on that broken back ground ball in second.
3-1 now to Adrianza. Hoping to turn the lineup over yet again. Give Bauer a chance here in the third. And a strike taken. It's 3-2, and with 2 out, Grossman will leave early from first base. Dozier with a left-handed batter up. Looks like he's going to hold the runner on.
Well, that's a mistake with Grossman on first. You got to play behind him there.
And the ball hit right in front of the first baseman.
Or hold him on and have the ball hit right there. That's perfect.
Twins got 4 back to tie it up. We head to the 4th, and it's 6-6.
Second inning, A-Ray Adrianza will drop a little pop fly single in front of Merrifield in center field, but the Royals would come right back with a huge inning in the top of the third, capped by a 3-run blast by the Twins' target field killer, Salvador Perez. But the Twins themselves would come right back, the big blow being a 2-run double by Jake Cave, and the tying run would score on a pass ball by the normally reliable all-star Perez. And here we are. 6-6 at the end of 3. It's been eventful.
And it will be a battle of the bullpens. Gabriel Moya was an opener, not a starter, but he was an opener in his last outing. Gave up a couple of runs, and now he's back in a more conventional for him situation coming in out of the bullpen. And he'll pick up the game in the 4th and see how long he can take it. Facing the switch hitter, Mondesi. He's a better left-handed hitter than right-handed batter, and then a lefty, Alex Gordon.
So the manager brings in a left-handed pitcher to move the switch hitter to his weaker side and then face a left-hander. Moya has been good against left-handed hitters historically, and so try to get him 2 not easy outs, but 2 hitters right in a row where he feels like he has the advantage.
Missing up high. Now overall the numbers for Moya are encouraging. Opponent batting average of 239. That's below the league average. Moya with 9 walks and 27 2/3 innings. That's about what you'd like. 1 every 3 innings. Swung on and missed. The thing that has bloated his earned run average in those 27 2/3 innings, 5 home runs allowed. He's gotten a strikeout per inning pitched. So most of the base numbers for Moya are encouraging, but the home runs have really stung him. 1-1 now to Mondesi. Breaking ball left up, fouled back.
And the left up, that's the phrase that is appropriate for those home runs. He's not exactly pinpoint yet. He's been compared to Eddie Guardado in terms of being a stocky lefty that wasn't afraid to throw strikes, but every day Eddie would throw the ball down around the knees just time after time after time after time. Moya hasn't quite gotten there yet.
And that fastball is up.
A little too much of that, for example, and he's not a guy that's going to, as you say, going to walk a lot of guys. It's not like he's 2-0 and 3-1 all the time on everybody, but he just is not down in the strike zone consistently like that man right there was.
And now ball 3. The splits encouraging. Lefties hitting 190 against him. Righties are reasonable 269 before the home runs have come against right-handed batters.
Well, that's 270 with 4 home runs and not that many innings pitched against right-handers. That's a fair ball.
Fair ball, and Garver throws him out. The ball went about 9 inches in front of the plate, and Garver threw him out, 1 down. And that'll bring up Gordon. Gordon cracked a 2-run double in the 6-run 3rd inning. Take a look at this ball. Might have even landed behind the plate. Spun. Nope. It just died.
That's like a real good sand wedge. It kind of hits and stays right there.
Gordon with a foul out and the 2-run double. Hooked it into the right field corner to drive in the first 2 Kansas City runs. That pitch fouled back. I know that Moya wants to live up there.
No, yes, you do. You know exactly that he
does not want to
do that.
1 strike. Breaking ball just off the outside corner. 1-1.
Good pitch there. That's the height and trajectory he wants on that slider, and if he can get to the point where slider and changeup are down there consistently, then I think he's got a real good chance.
Rolled foul.
There it was. That's the changeup that he wants. That's the speed and the location. Very good pitch down there.
One of the reasons he's had success against lefties, he's not afraid to throw that changeup to a lefty. Some lefties are hesitant to do that for fear of hanging it and having it hit a long way. fastball down and away, 2-2.
One of the key things about pitching, and I was talking with the Twins pitching coach Garvin Alston today about different pitchers, Jose Barrios being one of them, and different and secondary and even tertiary, third pitches from the best one.
And now 3-2.
Yeah, good try there. You get a hitter set up for a pitch, or there's a perfect time to throw a pitch. And in Barrios' case, and we'll talk about that, when Barrios pitches, but he doesn't use his changeup a lot. But when he uses it, it's the perfect time, and you just have to throw that one for a low strike, and you get the out. And Moya has been in that situation too. There's a good changeup on the outside corner, but he gets to a point where just a couple of pitches ago, that fastball that he was trying to hit the outside corner, that was the perfect pitch to Gordon. After the sequence of pitches that Gordon has seen, it was the perfect pitch. And when you have the perfect pitch, that's the one time you have to throw it perfectly. You have to throw it in that spot that you're looking to do. Otherwise, you let the hitter back in the count.
3-2. Foul back. Mixing changeups at 80, fastballs at 90, and Gordon's gotten a piece of everything.
But he's on the defensive. He's pitched him very, very well because of that change in miles per hour, that spread that you just mentioned. 90 and 80, fastball to changeup is excellent.
And he missed down and away. Gordon coaxes a walk with one out in the fourth. Somewhere here in the beautiful ballpark on this beautiful night is Kevin Gordon.
Yeah, what a night it is. Big story in baseball time. And we're going to talk a little bit about the Twins minor league affiliates in the playoffs. We'll run through it right now. Elizabethton, their second straight Appalachian League title. Wednesday over Princeton. Fort Myers with a big win tonight over the Tortugas. The Dayton Turtles, they won 3-1. Cedar Rapids with a doubleheader against Beloit. All in action. Good to see those young players, that young talent getting some playoff baseball in as we speak, guys.
Another number from a right-handed batter, and Garver throws him out. 2 outs have traveled maybe 31 feet. And Gordon, after the walk, advances to second. When's the last time you put down 2-3 in your scorecard twice in one inning?
2 out of 3 hitters. I don't remember ever doing that.
And now Bonifacio will bat. He's got a pair of singles. Down and away, ball 1. And off the end of the bat, foul. If a hitter let it, Moya's antics on the mound could almost be hypnotic. I mean, he starts there. Now the arm will rotate in a clockwise fashion. And then this herky-jerky delivery. And you were a good hitter, and I'm sure the good hitters are able to just dismiss all of that and just focus on the release point.
Really, Ted Williams said he used to just stare at the pitcher's feet until the pitcher was, they saw the pitcher was ready to go, and then he just followed the arm and the release, get to the release point.
There's a changeup that missed down and away.
And that herky-jerky motion, it's a two-edged sword, because I think the positive part of it is that he comes flying at you, and it gives you great motion on the changeup and the off-speed stuff. The negative part is he comes flying at you and will fly open and lose his release point and See that arm's dragging just a little bit on the changeup. And, you know, so the speedy, herky-jerky delivery also gets him in trouble. As effective as it can be, it can also get him in trouble with mechanics.
In the second inning, with a man aboard, Salvador Perez nearly hit a home run to left. With 2 on in the third inning, he caught up to a fastball and hit it into the bullpen.
Well, he's been doing this time after time after time here in this ballpark. He's a remarkable player, and he's been incredibly remarkable against the Twins, and especially here.
2 walks, put 2 men on, and now a hand comes off the bat. Follow through may have clipped Garver, but it's strike 1. Perez coming a little stickum. Missed about a week with a sprained thumb. They said that there was not an incident. He just kind of did it. Wear and tear hitting. Didn't seem to be anything wrong with his thumbs on either one of his earlier at bats.
Well, your thumbs don't bother you when you hit it on that sweet spot. Below the label is where the thumbs get involved.
Perez steps out of the box.
But here's a situation where you just must not, may not, cannot throw in the ball in the middle of the plate. I mean, he's got to get himself out, or you're going to go to Herrera next, in my opinion. Just
0-2, and again the hand comes off the bat.
I think that's. I mean, why continue to pitch to this guy anywhere close to pitches that he can handle?
Wondering whether his thumb isn't bothering him again.
He will swing. That's a good swing there on a high fastball, and I think his thumb is bothering him, but he will swing at balls. He will swing at bad balls. You got to give him a chance.
A piece of it.
He's a little bit like Eddie Rosario in that he won't expand the zone quite as much up and away and in and everywhere that Rosario will, but he hasn't seen too many pitches he doesn't think he can hit, and he's up there to hit it, to swing at it, especially 0-2. I think he got 2 waste pitches, 2 pitches that you can make him chase, at least 2. That's a good try there.
Just inside, ball 1. You can see it's the left thumb that has some extra padding. Sometimes you see hitters wear almost a little slip-on shock absorber on the thumb.
Yeah, that's generally the top hand, because that's really the jam thumb.
1-2. Oh, not even close, and it's 2-2. Moya trying to put together a scoreless 4th inning here. The balls that have been put in play have been hit right off the end of the bat. A couple of assists for the catcher, but there have been 2 walks.
I still say you don't give in to him. You don't give in to him and throw one in the middle.
Pulled foul. Off his left foot. Seventh pitch for Moya, so at best the Twins probably get 1 inning from him, hoping he can get Perez and get the Twins off the field. Hook, foul, fastball, and again he was waiting for it.
I mean, I don't know why. I don't think you can worry about walking him in this. Do you want to pitch to Perez as hot as he is in this ballpark with 2 guys on, or Herrera with 3 with the bases loaded? I mean, what makes a difference, right? For me, give him a chance to get himself out. You don't walk him on purpose, but just don't throw him in the middle like you just did and just got away with it.
Hit hard to center, but Cave is there. And it's a scoreless 4th for Gabriel Moya. Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the Twin Cities. And by Grand Casino, the best stories start here. 6-6, and the parade of relief pitchers continues for Kansas City. After Twins tied the ball game up in the third, Sparkman will come in now for Kansas City. Glenn Sparkman, a right-hander, and he will face the top of the Twins batting order. 11th appearance for Sparkman, and you can see his numbers so far on the year.
Almost a strikeout per inning, but he's also walking a lot of guys, and I guess we've kind of beaten that horse enough.
Here is Bauer. He's 0 for 2, a strikeout and a ground ball to short. The game was played differently when you played, but this has got to be a bit of a challenge for hitters on both teams. It seems like every time this time of the year, you come to the plate, you're facing a different pitcher. In some cases, someone you've never seen before. And you're trying to put together a good at bat, but it's hard when you face somebody different every time you come to the plate.
September baseball is difficult in that way, that's for sure.
1-1 to Bauer. And now 2-1. Twins with 6 runs on 6 hits. Royals 6 runs, 7 hits. There have been too many walks for both teams. High fly deep to the left field corner, and even Alex Gordon can't catch it. Half expected him to scale the wall. And
Spider-Man was running through my mind. It's amazing, isn't it? Year after year, the outfielders that get a lot of assists continue to get a lot of assists, and even though they've demonstrated in the league that they can throw runners out, there just are plays where you still have to go on it.
Tapper to short. Mondesi flips to first. 1 down. Registration for Feed My Starving Children's Pack at the Park is closed, but you can still support Feed My Starving Children and provide 45 meals to starving children across the world with the purchase of this Feed My Starving Children t-shirt. Visit fmsc.org and get yours today. 1 down. Here's Polanco 1 for 2. Threatened to bunt in the first inning and grounded out. Did bunt successfully, a leadoff single in the third when the Twins went on to score 4 runs.
And now the third baseman is playing 30 feet closer to him than he was when he led off the third.
Foul back, and it's 1-1. Beautiful night here. Early September fall weather. And the grounds crew again's done a wonderful job restoring this ballpark to its appearance after 4 concerts this summer.
Was that one of them?
That's to left. Gordon is back, still on the edge of the grass now, 2 down.
And when you see a concert here and see the stage and all the set, everything, and then see immediately how Larry DeVito and his crew gets the field back in beautiful condition, it's remarkable what they do. It's absolutely remarkable.
2 down in the 4th. BP Brighter Picture focusing on Eddie Rosario. And a lot of things have gone wrong for the Twins this year, both in the lineup and on the pitching staff. But this guy has done what the Twins were hoping the rest of this young nucleus would do, and that is raise his game to another level this year from where it was last year. And consequently, he's got a chance for a .300 batting average, can still hit 25 home runs and drive in 85, 90 runs, even though he's missed some time. 1-0. So 2 ground balls to the left side. It looked like the first one was going to be a hit, but Mondesi turned in a good play. Second one was a hit. Strike called, 1-1. Swung on and missed. 1-2.
Eddie's had a remarkable season, and I'm really hoping he can finish it off. Get his leg totally healthy, and then really finish off this season strong.
Fly ball, short center. In fact, it's the shortstop Mondesi back to make the catch. Rosario retired, and the Twins go down 1-2-3 in the fourth. Pepsi fans of the game have seen a lot of runs scored already. They've seen a lot of pitchers, and there's a real good chance they'll see more of each. As the Twins bring Trevor May out of the bullpen to pitch here in the 5th inning. May was a opener in Houston, and it did not go well. He gave up 4 runs in his 1 inning.
Did not go well. But other than that, he's pitched very well, especially in his return from first year back after Tommy John surgery. He's I think one of the real bright spots in terms of optimism for pitching staff next year, wherever they decide to use him, starter or reliever.
Big swing and a miss by Herrera. He'll pitch to the bottom 3rd of the Kansas City lineup. Well, to put it in some perspective, he had 13 relief appearances and gave up 3 earned runs, and then he was used as an opener. This one twisted to the left field corner, and Rosario will watch it bounce over the wall, and it will be an opening double here for Herrera. And then in the one outing as an opener, he gave up more runs than he did in his other relief appearances combined. Leadoff double, and now Alcides Escobar.
His fastball up and out over the plate. Herrera goes with it, hits the ball a long way.
Not enough slice on it, yeah. And Escobar drove in a couple of runs. Excuse me, he just got an infield hit. He hit one up the line that Joe Mauer knocked down. And at the time, Royals were already up 4 runs, but we didn't talk much of it. But that play by Mauer saved a run. Herrera got to third base and never moved after that. So it's 6-6 in part because of Escobar's infield hit not becoming an outfield hit. And Garver will get another assist. And on the play, Herrera moves to third. So the Royals give up an out to advance Herrera from second to third. And now Hearn will bat. Twins will bring the infield in now in a tie game. Well, Hearn struck out against Buznitz, leaving runners at first and third in the third inning. Down and in a ball. Saw the numbers for May: 15 in the third innings and 22 strikeouts. That's what he'll try to get here. Foul tip, 1-1.
And when you quote that statistic, and we just mentioned wherever they might want to use him next year, starter or reliever, it's hard not to think about him being a late inning reliever when you have that kind of strikeout to inning ratio. I mean, that's exactly what you're looking for late in the ball game.
Just 3 walks and now 15 2/3 innings. It's a high fastball and a swing and a miss. 2 home runs allowed.
I heard LaTroy Hawkins talking about pitchers' fastballs during your broadcast in Houston. Talking about, it's a term that's interesting in baseball they use now, carry.
Yeah.
And it's how a fastball maintains its speed and height.
Did he go? Nope.
And I think Trevor May must have good carry, because he at 93, 94 has funnier swings at fastballs oftentimes than, say, Buznitz at 97. And so there's definitely something to that term, as it means the effectiveness of somebody's fastball.
And tried to drop an off-speed pitch on the outside corner, but missed. 3-2. O'Hearn, his second plate appearance in relief of Cam Gallagher, who fouled out or flied out in his only appearance. 3-2 to O'Hearn, and got him with a 94-mile-per-hour fastball that might have had some carry.
It was carried to the plate very well. Yes.
2 down.
This is just overhand hardball right here, and up at the top of the zone, and this is a great example of what I think LaTroy's talking about, the carry. That ball gives the impression that it's actually rising. I don't think that's physically possible, but for a hitter, when the ball doesn't sink, it appears to hop. It appears to rise.
And I think it has everything to do with spin rate, which is a measurable commodity now. And we tend to think of spin rate with a breaking ball, but spin rate is just as critical for a fastball, and I think that leads to carry.
I think you're right.
1-0 to Whit Merrifield. He's hit 3 line drives tonight, only has 1 hit. And there's a strike.
In the old days, they just say he's got some extra giddy up late in the zone. But I think that's what carry is defined, how carry is defined. The ball keeps coming at you rather than losing velocity or elevation.
Infield back at normal depth, of course, now with 2 outs. Taken for a strike. Merrifield may be looking for something else. 1-2. May trying to pitch around a leadoff double to keep this a 6-6 game. And Merrifield fouled it off. Wasted a pretty good fastball.
Yes, he did. And I think both Trevor May and his catcher, Mitch Garver, like Trevor's fastball tonight.
off the knuckles. And Mauer with the catch. Good inning for May after the leadoff double. He gets the next 3 batters. We're still tied at 6.
Shirts with the name of a fan on the back, and then before the game during batting practice they wore these cool shirts. Fans were in attendance that had the names in the back. Players got to meet them, give them the shirts, sign autographs, take pictures, talk to Trevor Hildenberger and Mitch Garver about this experience. They said they loved it, loved interacting with the fans. They've been treated as some great crowds, some really intense crowds this year, guys. The fans have really stuck with them. This was a chance to kind of give back to those fans with those cool shirts.
Yeah, second year they've done that. And a lot of the fans I know really enjoyed being behind the ropes behind the batting cage during BP. Here's Logan Forsythe to start the Twins 5th. There's strike 1. Sparkman had a quick 1, 2, 3, 4th inning, so they'll let him at least start this inning. Forsythe with a walk and a run scored, RBI single and a run scored, and that is by Escobar, and down the line Forsythe is going to dig for 2. Gordon's throw is not in time. 2 base errors should be charged to Escobar, and the Twins get their leadoff man on in the 5th.
This ball ate up Alcides Escobar. It was an in-between hop right from the start. He couldn't get to the short hop. And there's an example of a shortstop his whole career playing over in a different position where he's used to making some flashy and fancy plays with his glove, not getting in front and knocking the ball down like many third basemen will do.
It's pulled to the right side. That's into right field for a base hit. Forsythe will be held at third, and the throw up the line, and Cave scampers to second base. Took a bit of a gamble there. It wasn't, I mean, the throw was off target, but it was laterally. And Cave, for whatever reason, was able to read that and go to second base.
I'm not sure if he read that or if he thought that Gene Lynn, the third base coach, was going to send the runner and he was going to make the cutoff man make a decision here, help get the run in by cutting the ball off. I'm not sure. Just out of the reach of Herrera. Bonifacio charges, throws the ball low, but I think Cave was going right from the start. I think he assumed that the runner was going to be sent home from second.
On air, a seeing eye single, and now Garver with 2 men in scoring position and a drawn in infield. Mitch with a single and a run scored, and then with 2 strikes chopped one to the left side that drove in the tying run. Got a pitch up and fouled it back.
And we're back to the same situation he was in last time. So take a shot best you can, but if you're in between pitches and in the middle of the diamond out to Center field, right field. Can do a lot of good moving runners around here with nobody out.
I think he just took a shot.
He took a shot, no question.
Took a fastball up and fouled it straight back.
Had a good swing at it too.
And another fastball and another foul ball, 0-2.
Royals are playing the middle of their infield, what you would call halfway, not all the way in, especially at shortstop.
Just outside. Tough take, but a good one. What we've seen from Mitch is a two-strike approach that kind of belies his lack of experience. I mean, he's done a nice job this year putting the ball in play for base hits. He was able to get the game tied with 2 strikes his last time up. 1-2. And a breaking ball that's flipped foul.
Mitch is an interesting hitter from that standpoint. What you're talking about, his ability to get 2 strike hits. He's a little bit open with his front side, but he's able to keep his hands back and fight the ball off to right field pretty well with 2 strikes.
Takes a pitch outside again.
Generally speaking, a guy that opens as quickly as the front side, as quickly as Mitch does, really has the bat drag and is vulnerable to pitches away from him or pitches up. He's a strong guy, and he has the ability to still make good contact with 2 strikes.
Inside, and it's 3-2. First base open. Kepler on deck. Sparkman had an easy 4th. The Twins, thanks to the error, have applied some heat here in the 5th. Up the middle, hits the mound. Mondesi makes the play. The Twins get the lead. And if not for the mound, Garber would have had a 2-run single up the middle.
That looked like a 2-run single all the way when he hit the ball. But again, a terrific job with 2 strikes by Mitch Garber. He got the 1 run in, and another run over to third with less than 2 out. A very, very productive out. Watch here, when he hits this ball, it's going up the middle for a hit, and hit the mound, as Dick said. Bounces right to the shortstop. So unlucky for Mitch, but a great at bat.
That is a fair ball down the line. And Kepler will get an RBI single with a rocket, just fair, and just out of the reach of Dozier. First base umpire Bruce Dreckman is going to have a little chat with Ned Yost. It is not a reviewable play because it is in front of the umpire. I think all Ned can say is, hey, look, maybe you want to ask the first base umpire because you were trying to get out of the way.
Really good swing by Max there. Breaking ball coming down and in. He hit a rocket over the bag at first base.
I think he got it right. It looked like it went right over the bag after being grounded in fair territory. So the Twins take a 2-run lead here in the 5th. And Grossman will bat. He's walked and reached on a fielder's choice. Up and away, ball 1. fouled back, and it's 1-1. Grossman DHing one of the other options might have been Tyler Austin, but Paul Molitor said today his back is still bothering him. It's been kind of a nagging thing for Austin. And then, as you may have seen in Houston, he slipped on the warning track by the Houston dugout, and that did some damage. Inside, missing, and it's 2-1.
Yeah, that looked nasty. His feet went out from under him and landed flat on his back.
Twins have had a 2-0 lead. Now they have an 8-6 lead. And now up 3-1. No activity in the Kansas City bullpen.
Yeah, 5 innings, the Twins have been up 2, down 4, up 2.
I don't think we're done yet.
We're not done yet. More runs. More runs.
Adrian's on deck. And there's ball 4. That'll bring up Adrianza with 2 men aboard. MLB At Bat is your #1 Twins app. You can customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Get Twins home screen icons, features such as the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcast, stats, news, and more. Download MLB At Bat today. Here's Adrianza. Adrianza singled in a couple of runs with a little pop fly single to center in the second. And then he ended the 4-run third inning by grounding out on 2 hops to Dozier. Down and away, ball 1. 30 pitches for Sparkman, 17 strikes. You know, I don't know if the Twins are going to win this game, but the reason they've got 8 runs, they've had some seeing eye singles, and as you said earlier, they've really done a nice job taking pitches, working counts, and being selective at the plate, something that wasn't in evidence much on the road trip. Drilled to right, a base hit. Kepler will round third. And he will score. Adrianza with an RBI single. The Twins lead grows to 3 runs. Again, a function of being able to swing aggressively when you've got a good count.
That's exactly right. And it means everything in hitting is to get a good ball to hit and don't get yourself out or get yourself in bad counts by swinging the balls that you can't hit early in the count. That's a perfect pitch for Adrianza. Low ball hitter. Gets a fastball knee high in the center of the plate. Drills it to right field. Laid off a couple pitches that weren't the kind of pitches that he can handle, and that's what happens. Those are the pitches that you'll get if you don't help the pitcher out. Key thing about about working counts is not taking all pitches. It's taking pitches that are balls or are tough to hit early in counts and being super aggressive early in counts on balls that you can hit. Be ready, hit like it's 2-0 or 3-1 right from the start, and then lay off the pitches where you're going to get yourself in a bad count or making a quick out on balls that you should only be swinging at with 2 strikes to protect.
Here's Bauer, first and third, still only 1 out. Twins have had a 2-run inning, a 3-run inning here in the 5th so far, and a 4-run inning.
Well, I think Joe will get this run in. I don't think that Sparkman has anything that's going to give Joe a big problem. I just don't think he can get Joe out in this situation.
Not a 2-0. You wouldn't think his chances are very good.
Chance of going Joe going 2-0 pretty good. He's not going to. He's going to do exactly what we're talking about. He's going to get a good ball to hit.
Three and 0. Polanco on deck. Jerry Vasto warming up, one of 3 left-handed relievers the Royals are carrying. The Royals were looking for a little more depth from Sparkman. He had a 1-2-3-4, has had all kinds of trouble here in the 5th, not all of his own doing. There's a strike. But Sparkman had done some starting for the Royals. I think the intent was get maybe 3 innings out of him, and as it is, they're lucky if they get 2. 3-1 to Bauer. And there's a walk that'll fill the bases for Polanco, and I'm guessing the Royals have seen enough. Here comes Ned Yost. He'll bring in the 3rd Kansas City relief pitcher.
Yeah, bringing the left-hander to switch Polanco over to his weaker side as a right-hand hitter, and then Rosario, the lefty, coming up behind him.
3rd Kansas City relief pitcher coming in. There's only 1 out in the 5th, and the Twins are enjoying a 3-run lead. Against Jerry Vasto, will be making just his 2nd big league appearance.
Well, this is, as you mentioned earlier, this is the September call-up kind of pitcher right here, and I'm not denigrating him at all. Just that we haven't seen him, nor have the Twins.
I should clarify his 2nd appearance for the Royals. He made one for the Rockies earlier this year.
So the left-hander comes in, as I said before the break, to switch Polanco over to hitting right-hander, where he has not been as good as left-hander, and then Rosario coming up left as a left-hander after Polanco. So Ned Yost going with the percentage play here.
And Polanco will come up with the bases loaded, 1 for 3, a bunt single that triggered a 4-run 3rd inning. First baseman Dozier is in front of the runner at first. Everybody else playing at double play depth. Outside, ball 1.
Boy, it was just a fantastic feeling when you'd never seen a pitch before. You had the bases loaded. You saw his fastball for a ball, first pitch.
Change up for a swinging strike, because you can time it.
you saw it without having to give up a strike.
Right.
Now you know what he's got from a fastball standpoint. Came back with a very nice changeup there. But it's 1-1, and you've seen probably his two best pitches. If I'm the hitter, at least I'm thinking he's a fastball changeup guy.
And Polanco reaches across the plate at the changeup and flips it foul. 1-2. All back. This time a fastball away. Hesitate to say this is just the 5th inning. Twins have a 3-run lead, but a chance here to break the game open.
Yeah, this is important. It's important at bat for Polanco here. I mean, 3 runs may not be enough. Well, you get this opportunity right here. You need this. You need some runs.
Better pitch to hit, and he fouled it back. Something in between his fastball and the changeup there. And a cutter. Twins have taken advantage of an Escobar error, backed it up with 3 singles and 2 walks, and so far 3 runs. Straight back.
Yeah, it's good battle there by Polanco, and a good pitch by Vasto. He thrown him a lot of changeups. He hadn't come in on him with a fastball yet. He came in right under his hands at 93. Good strikeout potential pitch there. Good try. Polanco spoiled it.
Now he takes ball 2, and it's 2-2.
It's really a good combination of pitches when you're throwing changeups for strikes away, come in under a guy's hands with 2 strikes with your best fastball, and then go back away. You just couldn't. There was an example of you really need to throw that changeup out there for a strike.
And another foul back on the fastball. 4 2-strike fouls for Polanco. Rosario would be the 8th man to bat, or 9th man to bat, I should say. Another 2-2 to Polanco. This has been a battle.
It has been a battle, and it made all the better by Polanco because of the quality of pitches and locations and the sequence that Vasto and Salvador Perez are throwing at him. Just fastball, changeup. Inside, outside. He's pitched him about as well as he could, and Polanco has spoiled it so far.
And a fly ball to right center field. Bonifacio's got a good arm. Grossman setting up, and he will just bluff. And had that been Rosario at 3rd base, he would have scampered home with a healthy leg.
Yep.
So a long battle with Polanco, but the pitcher ends up winning the battle. 2 down, and now here's Rosario. Rosario's done that stop and go move, 3 times I think this year to score runs from 3rd base. Hobbled a bit with the quadricep pull, but he does have a single and a run scored. 9th man to bat. Twins send 8 men to the plate in the 3rd. Just missing the outside corner, ball 1.
Pretty good attempted frame there by Salvador Perez. He caught that ball coming up into the strike zone. Made it look like a strike.
Fouled back. 1-1.
Eddie wanted that one. He was on that curveball. He had a good swing at that one. Got the big end of the bat right to the ball. Just got under the bit. He knows it.
Outside 2-1. Twins with 9 runs on just 9 hits. Foul back 2-2. And you think wishes he had that pitch to swing at again.
Yeah, but you're going to be a little bit behind and just not quite as sharp when you've been off for a while. I don't imagine he's taken a lot of batting practice with the hurt quadricep muscle. He's got some pitches that he normally handles, and just it's been a not quite.
Twins have taken 5 walks, 2-2 to Rosario. Flipped foul. 9 runs on 9 hits. You see that or something similar to it if a ball or 2 or 3 have left the ballpark. Twins have 8 singles and 1 double. But then the 5 walks, the error. Plenty of opportunities to score runs here tonight. And a great chance here for Rosario with the bases loaded and 2 down. Big fly ball to left. Gordon comes in, and it's the shortstop Mondesi who makes the catch. The Twins leave 3 but score 3. A good inning as they reclaim the lead, 9-6.
Good at bats all the way around, up and down the lineup.
Bramer, Twins hoping to continue to play well at home. One point they were down 6-2, but answered right away, as you see, with a 4-run bottom of the 3rd inning. You know, Trevor May, who pitched around a leadoff double in the 5th, asked to double up and have a good 6th inning. There's a strike. I'll be very curious where the Twins settle May's role come next year. At least up until recently, he's expressed preference to be a starter, and I can see him doing that and doing well with that with his 4-pitch mix. We've seen him in intermediate relief. I can imagine him as a closer. The Twins have a job opening there right now, and on 3 pitches he puts Mondesi away with a quick strikeout.
It'll be a tough decision for the Twins, because I agree with you. I think he'd be capable in all those spots.
Down the middle with a for strike 2, and then a fastball with some carry again.
Some carry on it. Yep. But you know, he's got the 4 pitches, as you mentioned. If you're looking for a starter, you want somebody with at least 3 pitches that you can command. He's got 4 that I believe he would be able to command as a starter. But then you look at the, and he's a strong guy, so you would think that he would have the stamina to be a starter and be able to maintain fastball velocity. He's done that in the past. But then you look at his strikeouts to innings pitched, and from a closer standpoint or late in the ball game standpoint, not only does he have the strikeout stuff and the ability to throw more than 2 pitches for strikes, I think he has the intestinal fortitude to be a late inning guy too.
Breaking ball laid out to center, but Cave tracks it down. And Gordon is retired, 2 away.
And that's something you never really know about a guy until you throw him out there and see. And a lot of guys have had the stuff, but just not the temperament or whatever you want to call it to be out there with the game on the line in the 8th or 9th. And I think Trevor would have that.
Dozier will bat. 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored.
So a tough decision for the Twins, but a good one to have to make. And Paul Mulder thinks, and I agree with him. He thinks there's another mile per hour or 2 in there next year when he's 2 years away from the elbow ligament surgery.
Got a big, strong frame. Missing there 2-0.
I've been impressed with his pitching mechanics. Coming back now, getting back into the groove of things.
One lace to left center field. Fastball for a hit. Dozier will hold up with a single. Good, strong retrieve and throw by Jake Cave. A couple of well-hit balls here in the 6th inning. And May pitched around a leadoff double in the 5th. Now a 2-out double here in the 6th. Well, that'll bring up Bonifacio.
Or it would have been a double had
Yes, right.
Cave
Yeah.
not made such a good play.
Bonifacio has reached all 3 times, 2 singles and a walk. Out in front of the off-speed pitch. Royals were hoping that Jorge Soler would be their right fielder. He's had injury issues going back to May. 60-day disabled list now.
When I saw him with the Cubs when he first came up to the big leagues, I really thought he was going to be a good player for the Cubs. And it's too bad getting the opportunity to play with Kansas City. He's had those injury issues. We don't really know about it, but he sure looked like he was going to be a good player to me.
1-1 on the ground through under the glove of Adrianza, and it is through for a base hit to left field, first and second. And the Royals have a couple of 2-out hits here. And that'll bring up Perez, who'll come to the plate as a tying run.
Breaking ball has stayed up in the zone a little bit. Bonifacio was able to hit it through the hole.
Came into the game just 3 for 26 against the Twins, and he's 3 for 3 today. Perez has already cranked a 3-run home run. Nearly hit a home run in the 2nd inning. Did with 2 men aboard in the 3rd, and then hit a fly ball to center in the 4th. Breaking ball hit to left center field. And Rosario's there to end the inning. Royals leave 2 aboard. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Twins up by 3. by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. Twins in front 9-6. The Twins relievers have put together 3 scoreless innings. And we have yet another Kansas City relief pitcher, left-hander Eric Skoglund coming in. Just reinstated from the 60-day disabled list on Tuesday. Had a sprained left UCL. Terrible news today for the White Sox. Michael Kopech, their brilliant rookie pitcher, finally called up, made his major league debut for the Twins. And they discovered a tear in the UCL, and he's headed for Tommy John surgery, it appears.
Just terrible. That's really, really too bad. You'd hate to see that with anybody. Young pitcher like that with all that promise. Boy, was he a good arm.
Skoglund not accustomed to coming out of the bullpen. Typically he's been a starter, but he comes out of the bullpen here to start an inning. Forsythe, Cave, and Garver to face him in the Twins' 6th. Taken low, ball 1. Skoglund had a sprained left UCL, ulnar collateral ligament. But so far he's been able to avoid the knife. Down and in.
It's got to be scary when that ligament's involved, sprain, or you just have to be worried about it being worse than a sprain, or that getting worse.
Shohei Ohtani was diagnosed with more elbow damage, and it's been recommended that if he wants to pitch again, he needs to have the Tommy John surgery. Well, he proved again tonight that he can swing the bat just fine with it. He hit a 3-run home run for the Angels. So the Angels and or Ohtani will have a decision to make. Do they think that this is really a viable thing to have a guy who can pitch and hit and do both at the same time? Or do you just perhaps avoid the surgery and let him hit?
Make him a hitter.
Yankees did that a long time ago, didn't they? Babe Ruth a hitter.
Yes, they did.
Mondesi throws out. Forsythe 1 away. And let's check in with Kevin Gordon.
Yeah, speaking of Shohei Ohtani, it's our showstopper tonight in baseball. He's not pitching, but he can still hit. This guy is fun to watch. 3rd straight game with a home run. Now 19 home runs, most ever by a Japanese rookie. The bat just keeps on going. I was lucky enough to watch him in person when the Wild were out in California way back in April, guys. This guy put on a show that night, and he's still doing it with the bat. Pretty cool.
And the Angels have a 5-2 lead in the 9th inning. Jake Cave, the batter. The uniqueness of what he brought over from Japan isn't to be diminished, but he's going to keep hitting this year and then going to have surgery, and then I believe the hope is he'll be able to hit next year and maybe pitch toward the end of the season. Fouled away by Cave. It is over the tarp and out of play. Two and 1 to Cave. A couple of big hits, a couple of runs scored, drove in a run with a double in the 3rd, singled and scored in the 5th. And 2-2. Houston beat Boston 16-3. Ryan Presley picked up the win out of the bullpen. 6-3. Did I say 16-3? Transitioning into, I was looking ahead to the Tampa Bay score. They beat the Orioles 14-2. Grounder cut off by Mondesi. And nice stretch at first by Dozier. 2 down. That'll bring up Garver. If you're game for a little excitement, head to foxsportsnorth.com, submit a photo and message for the opportunity to be featured in the Minnesota Lottery Winner Circle during the broadcast and receive $100 in scratch tickets. With the Minnesota Lottery, every day is game day. 2 down, and now Mitch Garver. Single and a run scored in the second, and then a couple of groundouts, but each one driving in a run. Down and away, ball 1.
And Mitch had 2 very productive at bats in a row there when he got up with runners on second and third and nobody out. Wasn't able to get the big hit that he wanted, but he was able to get 1 run in and 1 run over to third with less than 2 out 2 times in a row. 2 good battles that ended up in very productive outs.
One and one to Garver. High fly to center. Merrifield is there. And Skoglund has a 1-2-3-6.
Guys running around the bases for both teams. The Royals had a big top of the third when they scored 6 runs, culminated by the 3-run home run by Salvador Perez, but the Twins would come right back in the bottom of that inning. And Jake Cave would get the big blow there, and then to get the Twins within 1, and then Salvador Perez uncharacteristically would have a pass ball for the tie run. Then in the Twins' 5th, guys were swinging the bats again. They were able to score 3 runs on 3 hits. All started with an error by the third baseman. They took a couple of walks, had some good at bats, separated themselves a little bit here as we head to the 7th. It's 9-6 Twins.
No single run scored at all. We've had a 2-run half inning, a 3, a 4, and a 6. Going to the 7th. It'll be Matt McGill's turn to try to put up a 0. The bullpen's done a nice job of that so far. Trevor May chipping in 2 innings worth of relief work. Down and away, ball 1.
Here's another guy with pretty good stuff that needs to figure out a way to just pound the strike zone with it.
Missing outside, missing inside. 2-0. Bottom third of the Kansas City lineup. Herrera sliced a double into the left field corner his last time up. He's also walked twice. Popped up. Playable for Polanco or Adrianza, the shortstop. makes the call. Shortstops typically have been ball hogs over the years.
Just go quick. Get away. That's my ball. Get away. Just get away.
One down. And that'll bring up Escobar, who used to be a shortstop. Royals have moved him around a little bit as they've taken a look at Mondesi at short. Escobar has actually played some in the outfield tonight at third base. His error opened the door for the Twins to score 3 runs and take the lead. They hope for good in the 5th. Over the inside corner, strike 1.
Routinely see Matt McGill at 95, 96 miles an hour with the fastball, got a nice overhand curveball. Can throw a slider and a changeup.
Rolled weakly to third. Adrianza over to Mauer. 2 down. We'll bring up O'Hearn. Twins off-season baseball camps are back and presented by Select Heartland Chevy dealers. Camps provide players an opportunity to continue developing their skills as well as prepare for tryouts and the start of the new season. Included are 5 to 10 hours of instruction addressing general baseball skills taught by an experienced staff of dedicated instructors. For a full schedule and registration, visit twinsbaseball.com/training. Strike on the outside corner.
And now 97. So with that kind of stuff, as we've watched McGill, when he's thrown the ball over consistently, he's been very, very good. And when he's been in trouble, it's again, it's been a command issue, walks and falling behind. Here's another guy that could really be in the mix in the bullpen next year. If he can demonstrate that he can come in throwing strikes with all his pitches.
1-1. Driven foul. Taylor Rogers keeping his warm-up on. That might change by the next inning. You can imagine a world where McGill gets the Twins through the 7th. Rogers gets the 8th. Hildenberger the 9th. Two and 2. And now in the dirt. 3 and 2. Merrifield on deck. Twins would love him to be leading off the 8th inning. And he walked him. O'Hearn, after striking out twice, has drawn a walk, and that gets Merrifield to the plate with a man aboard. Merrifield with 3 line drives, 1 hit, and 1 pop-up. Started the ball game by hitting a liner back to Gonsalves's glove, and he got a single and scored in the 3rd. And he ended the 3rd inning with a line drive that Mauer reached near the first base bag, slicing, if it had stayed fair, into the corner, but he caught it for the 3rd out instead.
Merrifield has just developed into a solid ball player. We talked about it in the open of the show. All around solid player. Move around, played a lot of places in the infield and now in center field. 300, he made himself a 300 hitter. He's got 30 stolen bases.
And his name might be new to you, but he's 29 years old. He's not 23, 24. He's kind of caught in between in Kansas City's rebuilding effort in terms of his turning 30 by next year. Swing on a miss, and it's 0-2. Taylor Rogers getting loose because Alex Gordon is 2 hitters behind Merrifield. 0-2 to Merrifield, choking up on the bat now with 2 strikes. Blocked by Garver and blocked it well enough to keep O'Hearn at first. You choke up much in your career?
I did. I choked up quite a bit for the first part of my career, and then always with 2 strikes.
The point of it is to what? Have better bat control. Right?
You need to know where the big end of the bat is, and the more you choke up, the more you feel that the big end of the bat not so far away from your hands.
Now 2-2.
I was listening to and watching a video of Barry Bonds hit, and regardless of what we all think about, Barry Bonds with some of the accusations and all that stuff, he was a remarkably sound mechanics hitter, one of the best games ever seen. And he choked up a lot.
And Gill finishes off a scoreless 7th inning. 2-out walk and left the board, and it's still a 3-run Twins lead.
Continue their series with the Kansas City Royals. Join us tomorrow night when the Royals and Twins resume their series. Our coverage begins at 5:30 p.m. right here on Fox Sports North.
And a big start for Jose Barrios. He's not had a good finish to the season so far, but he'll have a few starts left to try to get things turned around. He'll start tomorrow for the Twins. There's Max Kepler to hit for the Twins, leading off the bottom of the 7th inning. Tap to second. An easy play for Herrera. Kepler gone on 1 pitch.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Minnesota Twins, LLC.
Robbie Grossman will bat. A couple of walks and a fielder's choice. Down and in, ball 1. Neither starter pitched well or long into the game. Both starters knocked out in the 3rd inning. Down and in, and it's 2-0. It's 13 games below 500. Bat foul. throw pulled toward home plate. 2-1 to Grossman. And now a strike 2-2. Royals are going to start young Jorge Lopez tomorrow. Picked him up from the Brewer organization in the Moustakas trade. Foul back. Hoping to end a 5-game losing streak. Royals had a nice winning streak before losing a couple in Cleveland. 3-2. Royals had an off day here yesterday. Beautiful day to enjoy a day off. Grossman takes ball 4, his 3rd walk of the ball game. And it'll bring up Adrianza. Adrianza with an RBI single in the 5th when the Twins took the lead, scoring 3 runs.
As we look at the sequence of pitches to Robbie, the one thing both right-handed and left-handed for Robbie Grossman is he's going to get a pitch he wants to swing at, and there's a nice bunt by Adrianza.
Safe at first. Replay brought to you by Carrier, and first base umpire Bruce Dreckman says that the throw pulled Dozier off the bag. It'll be a bunt single, second bunt single for the Twins, and Adrianza's 3rd hit. We'll see if the Royals challenge it. Jeff Smith emphatically called safe. Royals are going to take a look at it. It was hard to see that Dreckman, that Dozier's foot came off the bag. We'll see what happens in New York with Adrianza trying to lay down a bunt single. Pretty good play by the pitcher, Skoglund, to retrieve that ball and get it to first as quickly as he did.
Yeah, he was going to be the only one that had a chance to make the play. As a left-hander, he came around the ball pretty well, so he was in pretty good throwing position to throw back to first base.
The throw beat him, so there's no question about that. The question is whether the foot was still on the bag. Bruce Dreckman said it came off. After calling Adrianza safe, he made the motion that the foot was off the bag. Maybe we'll see it.
This will be the best view of it, and we've seen this one, and I think it's inconclusive. I don't know if you can tell enough to know for sure that the umpire is wrong.
There are spikes in the bottoms of the shoes, and it might have been that the spikes were touching the base.
Yeah, I guess it all counts.
I don't think it'll be overturned, but we'll see.
My vote would be it would not be overturned.
Yeah. So it's a bunt single, and Grossman goes to second, and Mauer will have a chance to add to the Twins' lead here. First and second, one down. The call stands.
As we expected. It wasn't conclusive to overturn, so it stands.
Mauer with a strikeout, 2 groundouts to short, and a walk. Facing the left-hander Skoglund. Strike of the knees.
Pretty big run here for the Twins to pick up. One more run, a 4-run deficit to go into with 6 outs to get is. It's only one more run. It doesn't seem like an awful lot, but a 4-run difference is a big difference. Is a a lot better, it seems, than 3 runs with two innings to go. Just the way games work out, you can kind of put a club away mentally, psychologically, with a 4-run lead going in the
0-2 to Mauer. In the dirt. Each team with 10 hits. Twins have taken half dozen walks here tonight. And Mauer called out on strikes for the second time by Kerwin Danley. 2 down. That'll bring up Polanco.
Pretty good pitch right there. It's an absolute pitcher's pitch, lefty on lefty. Knee high on the black, right on the corner.
2 down, and Polanco 1 for 4. A bunt single that turned out to be huge. It opened the door for a 4-run inning. Chopper. Nice play by the third baseman Escobar, but the throw off line. Here comes Grossman, and he is out at the plate. Gene Glenn sent Robbie Grossman after the throw was offline, but he's thrown out at the plate, and the inning ends. Credit Polanco with a hit, and Grossman thrown out at the plate, and we head to the 8th.
Bit of a slugfest here. It's been kind of a run around the bases type of game for both teams, but so far the Twins up by 3 runs, and Taylor Rogers in to pitch the 8th. He's been outstanding since July 30th. Look at these numbers. In 15 in the third, 18 strikeouts and 1 walk. That is fantastic. Only 8 hits. Hasn't given up an earned run yet. Always been dominant against left-handers, but he's starting to figure out the ways to get right-handers out, and once he does that, he's going to be something special in the late innings for the Twins.
And he'll face Mondesi, Gordon, and Dozier, a switch hitter, a lefty, and a righty, with the Twins protecting a 3-run lead.
And again, Paul Mulder with the great advantage of being able to bring in Taylor Rogers, flip a switch hitter to his weaker side, and then the second hitter left-handed for the left-handed Rogers. Advantage Rogers before he ever gets to the fourth hitter, Dozier.
And he does a lot of that. He throws first pitch strikes.
Yes, he does.
As important as it is for a starter to do it, it's probably more important for a reliever. One strike. And now two.
There's that back foot slider that you were talking about earlier. A sharp break back to the back foot and below the swing of right-handers. That's been a big plus for him against right-hand hitters.
Blocked by Garver. 1 and 2.
The other thing that he's done effectively against right-handers is located his fastball better than he was and has in the past. On either corner, either side of the plate.
Wrapped to third, scooped up by Adrian. One down. And the lefty Gordon will bat next Tuesday before the Twins battle the Yankees. Fox Sports North will give you an all-access pass to Twins batting practice with an hour-long special edition of Twins Live. We'll have live player interviews, insight, and analysis from Roy Smalley to my right. Justin Morneau, who's I don't believe here tonight, but he'll be here then. Katie Emmer will also be there taking questions from fans on social media. You can join us live on Tuesday at 4:30 for your exclusive access as the Twins get ready to take on the Yankees.
It's going to be a fun show. We've got a lot of really great stuff planned. A lot of inside, in-depth glimpses at how the Twins get ready in batting practice to play the game that night.
Gordon takes a strike, and it's 1-1. Gordon with a 2-run double in the third against Gonsalves. Pop-up line drive and walk around that double. Now a liner picked off by Polanco. Positioned perfectly to make the catch, 2 away.
Terrific play. It's sorry, the corner's light.
Refreshing finish.
Refreshing finish. A great leaping catch. Everything is about the timing of the jump. It's when do you start the leap.
Here's Hunter Dozier with the bases empty. Ball 1. Could see from the center field camera that ball had some spin on it, some slice to it. 1-0 to Dozier. There's a strike. Fastball at the knees, 95 miles per hour, and strike 2.
You know, the inner part of the plate too. That's what I was getting at. I really think that his ability to throw the ball on the inside and outside corners with that fastball, 94 to 95. Buzz it in there. Very effective. Now the back foot slide. Nope, he went back to the fastball, just froze it.
Good inning for Rogers. A quick 1-2-3, top of the 8th.
here at Target Field in this beautiful night. Stay with us directly after the game for Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink. We'll take a look at a crazy third inning where the Twins rallied from down 6-2 to take control of this baseball game after tying at 6 in that inning. A-Ray Adrianza has had a solid game at the plate. We'll take you through some of the key at-bats he's had in this game. We'll bring you inside the clubhouse. We'll hear from the manager, Paul Mauder. He can talk about how the Twins continue to play good baseball and score runs in this ballpark on a consistent basis, and we'll look forward to the rest of the weekend series here, guys, against the Royals.
Well, thank you, Kevin. Yeah, it's kind of a puzzle how this team can have better at-bats, pitch better at home than they do on the road so dramatically. We'll see what happens here for the balance of the homestand. Eddie Rosario will lead off the 8th inning against Willie Peralta.
Peralta, the de facto Royals closer now.
Deep down the right field line. And Rosario on the first pitch hammers one out of here. Home run number 23 for Eddie Rosario. Two hits tonight for Rosario and home run number 23.
Kind of a classic Rosario swing. It was a breaking ball, and he threw his hands inside to get the big end of the bat to. Watch him throw his hands in close to his body to get the big end of the bat to the ball.
How do you not hook that ball?
It's because of how much he threw his hands inside, and so that there was a bit of a lag in the swing. Really beautiful example of it.
Mid-90s fastball and a strike. So first pitch breaking ball is sent out onto the plaza. The Twins now have that 4-run lead. One strike to Forsythe. Drops a breaking ball off the outside corner. 1-1. Forsythe has scored 3 runs tonight. Walked and scored in the second. Singled in a run and scored in the third. Reached on a leadoff error in the 5th when the Twins scored 3 runs. Herrera over to Dozier, and first out of the 8th inning.
Play the new Vikings scratch games from the Minnesota Lottery. With a top prize up to $100,000, it pays to be a fan.
10-6 Twins, and now Jake Cave. Good day at the plate with 2 hits, 2 runs scored, a run batted in. Down low, ball 1. And now inside, 2-0. Decision not to bring Byron Buxton back in September has given Jake Cave an extended look in center field.
He's gotten more and more comfortable as the playing time has increased, become more consistent, as you might expect from a good player.
Takes a strike, 3-1.
It seems like he's feeling more and more comfortable about his swing and what approach to have against different pitchers.
3-2. And with the success he has had, breeds confidence that your game can play up here.
Right. I think he's a major league player.
Foul into the corner, still 3-2. Changeup got him. 2 down. Bring up Garver with the bases empty.
Good pitch there. Primarily fastball count from most pitchers. Jake Cave looking for a fastball, gets a very good changeup his way out in front. Good arm speed, fastball arm speed, fastball delivery. Ball just doesn't get there.
Garver, 1 for 4 with 2 runs batted in. The runs batted in came 1 apiece on groundouts. Not very often when you score 10 runs, you have 12 hits, and you talk about a guy making an out being the key to the game, but I'm not so sure that this game is where it's at right now unless Garver gets those runs in with those groundouts.
Yeah, they were 2 very good at bats, very productive.
1-1. And now 2-1. Save situation, but obviously the Twins haven't had many late inning leads to protect, so Hildenberger will likely get the 9th. 3-1 now to Garver. Had a 2-0 lead. Royals had a 6-2 lead. Now the Twins lead by 4. And a walk to Garver. We'll get Kepler to play. Target Field suites are available for single game rental for groups of 16 to 150 plus. You can choose from the Premier Suites, flexible event suites, luxurious Puckett Suite, or the spacious Skyline Suites. Regardless of which you choose, food and beverage is included with every purchase. You can learn more at twinsbaseball.com/groups or call 800-33-TWINS to schedule your suite at Target Field. Kepler lifts it to left. Gordon toward the line, has room to end the bottom of the 8th inning. Twins add another run on the Rosario home run, and they lead by 4. hitting a late home run and being doused with sunflower seeds. Rosario with a couple of hits, including a home run. And now Trevor Hildenberger, who was warming up for what was a save situation, will instead be pitching with a 4-run lead. And he'll pitch to Bonifacio, Perez, and Herrera.
Hildenberger's been very good this year in the late innings, and now has become the closer. Went through one little rough patch where good hitters, professional hitters, had started sitting on his changeup a little bit, and he righted that ship, figured that out, went back to that pitch there, the fastball that get guys off the changeup, and now he's back using all his pitches again because he was able to adjust and throw more fastballs.
Two strikes to Jorge Bonifacio in the dirt. 6 o'clock start tomorrow. The Twins hope to have successfully snapped a 5-game losing streak and start building a winning streak at home. What constitutes a winning streak or a losing streak for you? Is it 2 in a row or 3 in a row? Because according to which baseball movie was it? The guy said you got to win 3 in a row for it to be a winning streak.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Right. Okay. So 2 in a row is just back-to-back wins.
It's just back-to-back, and 3 is a streak.
Chop to the right side. Hildenberger takes the feed, gets to the bag ahead of Bonifacio. Mauer to Hildenberger, 1 away. Let's take a look at tomorrow's Game 2. Jorge Lopez out of the Brewers system, now getting a chance he wouldn't have had in Milwaukee, at least this year. And he'll make the start for Kansas City against Jose Barrios. 1 down, and now Salvador Perez. Perez with a 3-run home run, part of a 6-run 3rd inning for Kansas City. Their lead didn't last through the bottom of the inning. Swing and a miss, 1 strike. Two of the worst swings Perez has ever taken at Target Field.
He's taken more than you remember. He will chase, is what I was talking about earlier. He will chase the ball outside of the strike zone. I've always kind of shaken my head at some of the pitches he swings at when he doesn't have to.
1-2.
But he is ever ready to hit a fastball in the middle of the plate. I will guarantee you that.
Grounded wide of third base.
Hildenberger back to his full complement of pitches now. He's throwing just about everything. Salvador Perez.
High fly to left. Rosario back at the wall. Perez is about 8 feet away from having a 3-home run night here. 2 down.
Another breaking ball that was left kind of spinning in the middle of the plate, and you know those are just pitches that Perez feasts on. He's going to have a pretty powerful swing at anything in the middle of the plate, and he's, as you say, Dick, he's not too far away from 3 home runs. Probably 8 feet. That's probably about right. Total.
Here's Herrera. There is ball 1. Well, the Twins bullpen entered the game in the 3rd inning And other than Perez's home run, which went on Busnitz's log, it's been scoreless relief. And it's taken probably more arms, different arms out there than Paul Molitor would like, but they've gotten the job done so far. Busnitz, McGill, Hildenberger, May, Moya, Rogers. And now it's 3-1. Whereas a double and 2 walks tonight. Kay will try to track it down. And a nice running catch in the gap to end the game. Hildenberger gives up a deep fly ball and a line drive out to end it. But all in all, Roy, the Twins bullpen called upon early did a wonderful job again here tonight.
Once again, it's the bullpen that saves the day. The starting pitching the second half of the season has not been good. The bullpen has been terrific. They used the whole staff out there pretty much tonight, and everybody was good.
Dave Benz, the Twins were behind early by 4, but they came right back to tie it up and ended up ending the 5-game losing streak.
Yeah, they came back emphatically in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Coming up on Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink. We'll break down that answer in the 3rd. We'll also hear from Paul Molitor and look ahead to Game 2. Stay with us here on Fox Sports North.